The reason is why, because our class size grew so large that we are not able to find any more physical class in Singapore that can fit our class size. Okay, so we don't have any more physical classes, okay? All our classes are online right now. And we offer this all-in-one Eureka program that consists of live Zoom classes, and then IQ Smart Learning Platform, 24/7 homework help, as well as unlimited marking. Okay, at the same time, right, many of you also heard of us through our affiliated website, such as Writing Samurai, GMAT, Science Fu, right? So the difference between Great Solution and the three website is Great Solution offer live classes, right? So this webinar is live. We are talking to you live on the spot. But for the three website, right, they offer pre-recorded online courses that's actually more budget friendly and also more suitable for students who prefer to learn at their own pace. Okay, and last but not least, we also have another affiliated website called the Science of Studying. This is founded by another of our science teacher. Her name is Miss Valerie. They specialize in Set 3 and Set 4, chemistry and biology. Okay, so here are some tips on how to get the most out tonight. Please commit to stay all the way till the end. All right, why? Because as you can see, we have a lot of amazing content lined up for you tonight. Right, if you're going to leave halfway, on top of missing out the very important tips I'm going to share with you, you're also going to miss out the very, very precious bonus, all right, that we will give away at the end of the webinar. Okay, so what are the bonuses? Right, do not worry, we will announce them at the end of the webinar. Okay, we got very, very special bonuses to give away. At the same time, right, please be 100% focused and present, right? We know that your time is very precious here. You choose to be here, right? So please don't get distracted by other things, right? If your kids distracting you, just ask your spouse or helper to take care of the kids for the next 2 hours, okay? And also at the same time, right, please change your settings to the public or everyone so that all of us can see your messages. Is that okay? If it's okay, can I ask you to type okay in the chat so that our admin can do a quick check, okay? Yeah, everybody just type okay in the chat, so that we want to make sure we can see all your messages. NIC, Nick, you're still typing the host and panelists. Can you please change to everybody, okay? Right, because we do not want to miss out your messages, yeah? Thank you so much, Grace, Susie, Wendy, Nance, Clara Chan, Ryan Pei, Cindy Ng. Yep, thank you so much, the rest of you. Mel also, please change to everyone, Mel. Okay, and by the way, this is a very, very informal webinar, right? We welcome you to ask any questions you want. As you can see, we have a lot of specialists here, right? I specialize in maths, and Andy specialize in science, Doris specialize in Chinese, and Jerry will come aboard later on specialize in English. So we will help you with all your questions, right? We just got one very simple request is, please do not post a question in the chat, right? Because it's going to get pushed all the way to the top, right? So instead, please post your question in the Q&A. Right, can you find a Q&A at the bottom of the screen? Right, any question, just post over there and we'll answer your questions at the end of the webinar. Okay, right, as I mentioned, this is a very informal webinar. We are here to help you and your child. So anything you want to ask, just ask us, okay? Just put in a Q&A and we'll answer them at the end of the webinar. Right, at the same time, right, in the event that some online trolls come in to vandalize the chat, right, please keep kind and careful learning. Right, do not worry, our admins will stand by to remove them. Right, just keep your full attention here. And we promise you that this will be the best investment for your time. Okay, now, at the end of the webinar, right, our admin is going to announce the most positive and participative reward. Right, the winner is going to win 3 courses. Right, so the first course is an 8 Master Methods crash course. Right, so this course, right, will teach your child the 8 Master Methods to solve problem sums in PSLE maths. Right, be it grouping, be it assumption, be it number times value, working backwards, etc. Right, all the 8 methods we cover in details inside this course. And we also have this course. Andy, do you want to share more details about this?
Yep. So regarding about the crash course on experimental-based questions, parents, as you're aware, for science, every topic will definitely have some experimental-based questions. And your child needs to know the strategies, the skills, or not just only to analyze the question, but also how to answer them properly with the correct scientific keywords. So this experimental-based crash course aims to share with you all the various experimental-based questions like aim, change measure variable, conclusion, relationship, etc. All right, and how to form a hypothesis, all these things. And this crash course is mainly targeted for P5 and P6 students.
Okay, thank you, Andy. And the winner is going to win this course on SNT, which is a synthesis and transformation. Right, your child will know all the must-know skills to do well in this segment. Okay, and the total worth of these 3 courses is $450. Now, parents, if you want to win these 3 courses, please type WOW in the chat, okay? WOW. right? Because our admin is going to monitor your response very closely. Yeah, and she's going to announce the winner at the end of the webinar. Oh. Wow, so many of you say wow, Ming Qian, wow, Sophia, wow, Felicia, Elizabeth, wow. Jessie, you're typing to the host only. I'm afraid that me cannot see your messages. Okay, please type to everyone, Jessie. Okay, thank you so much. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let me just do a quick intro of myself so at least you know who you are learning from. I'm the founder of gmaths.com. I'm also one of the directors of Great Solution Learning Center. I graduated with math degree from NUS. I have more than 10,000 students learning online. I have also more than 2,000 YouTube subscribers. You can search for my channel on YouTube. We offer a lot of free math revision videos there. And I will also feature on the radio on Straits Times, right, on giving tips for parents to guide their child in their maths for their maths exams. Okay, and in my free time, right, these are some of the books I've written. You can actually download them for free on my website, and you can actually buy this book at any of the nearest popular bookstore. Yep, so this is actually what I do during my free time. Okay, so over my years of teaching, right, we have received, not just me, right, me and my math teachers, right, have received hundreds of raving reviews, not just from students as well as from parents. Right, so for example, Ziyan got AL1 for maths, Ria got AL1 for maths, Louis got AL2, Ashes got AL1, and Dash also got AL1 for his maths. Okay, so this is a proof that our methods really do work, and we are very confident that if you can apply the methods that we're going to share later on, your child is also able to see similar results. May, you can ask your Q&A, okay? I'll answer that question later, May. All right. Do not watch the YouTube now, focus over here, okay? All right, the contents here is even more precious than YouTube. Okay, now before we share with you the how, right, we want to know the why. Okay, why do you want your child to get higher marks for PSLE? Right, is it because you want your child to enter the dream school? Right, if it's a dream school, please type dream school in the chat. And also, do you mind, parents, can you share with us what is the dream school that you want your child to enter to? Do you have a school in mind already? All right. Yeah, for those who type dream school, we just want to know so that the parents know. The parents also have an idea how competitive the school is. Right? If everyone's at the same school, then you know it's very competitive already. Wow, Nanyang, wow, this is super hard to get into school.
Yeah.
Victoria, ACS, RGS, wow, you know, very.
Well, GS is dream
Okay.
school.
All right, that dream school. All right, all right. Enter the dream school, good school, Andrews. Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Is it just a dream school, or is there any other reason why your child to get higher marks or PSLE? Perhaps you want your child to feel more confident about himself or herself, right? Is it if that's so, can you type or more options select? Thank you, WI. Yep. Yeah, that's such a good point. How many of you agree with WI that having good results of PSLE will open more doors for your child? If you agree, type agree in the chat. Yeah, thank you so much, WI. Yes, right. Not to be left out. Thank you, Crystal. Right? Very important also. Yes, agree, right? Yes, you all agree that having good results is not everything, but definitely it can help our children open more doors such that they're able to choose more schools, more courses, and they can study anything they want in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Thank you, Jesse. You have more options. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. We all know that getting higher marks of PSLE is super important. Now, my next question is, do you think PSLE is getting easier or harder? You think it's easier, type easier. You think it's harder, type harder. Okay, Anthony harder, Eddie harder, Gary harder. Wow, someone type easier. Wow, Siri
Wow.
easier. Wow, amazing.
Yeah, it's
Crystal
good.
say no idea. Okay, no worries. Okay, let's take a look at some of the articles, right, from recent years. Right, so this is after the PSLE 2019. Right, so some parents they issue the PSLE 2019 math paper and call it exceptionally difficult. Wow, the keyword here is exceptionally. Right, why? Because of the question that came up, even the parents also have difficulty solving themselves. And when they saw the question, right, they are like so shocked. How come we are making our P6 students do such difficult questions when even us as adults have problem solving? And furthermore, this was during the COVID period. So as you're aware, many parents are having quite a difficult time over that. Okay, and again in 2021, you can also see, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, students come out the hall crying. Yeah, thank you, Gary. Okay, yeah, this time around speechless, right? Parents and kids are upset again over the tough PSLE math paper. So all this is really to show you that the PSLE standard is getting higher and higher, right? In fact, right, I don't remember our questions so hard last time when I was still a student. And to show you some examples, right, I try to copy and paste some of our PSLE math problems into ChatGPT. But you all should heard of ChatGPT, right? Everyone should heard of it now. All right, and out of 10 questions I put inside, do you know how many correct did ChatGPT get? Out of 10 I put inside. You all give me a guess. Why 5? What 0, Anthony? Are you sure or not? ChatGPT is created by one of some of the smartest people in the world, no? Ryan 4, all right. Yeah, thank you, CH. Yeah, thank you, Ryan Fei. Yeah, thank you, Gary. Right. It's only 5, okay? So out of 10, right, ChatGPT only managed to pass the paper, right? The other 5, right, they either get it wrong or the AI come out with, sorry, not enough information to solve the question. And then they cannot solve it. So when they say they can't solve right, they will say, sorry, not enough information to solve the question. Then they just stop down there. Yeah, so all this is really to show that our PSLE standard is getting higher and higher. All right, so what can we do? Right, what can we do now? Right, instead of complaining and worrying, what should we do? Right, exactly, right. So keep calm and carry on learning. Okay, because we are not able to control the difficulty level of paper. So that's why we have to keep calm and carry on learning, right, and continue to stir our children in the right direction. All right. Okay, so without further ado, let me share with you our AIC system, okay? That will help your child to salvage 10 to 15 marks for PSLE. Your parents, are you ready? If you are ready, type ready in the chat, please. Right, because this is the super important slide. Okay, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Travis. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Zitong. Thank you, Xingtong. Okay, what does A stand for? Everyone, please type in the chat, please. Right, A stand for analyze. Okay, everyone type analyze in the chat. So what does analyze means, right? That means, right, when your child get a question wrong, right, you need to analyze very closely what went wrong in your child mistakes. Okay, because right, when every time parents review their child exam paper, and how we know this is because we ask our students, like, we ask our students, how does your parents look at your exam paper? You know what they say? Usually they say, my parents just treat it as a scolding session. All right, always, boy, how many times I told you already? Why you still get this one wrong? Girl, why you so careless? Right. Right. Do you say that? Sometimes your kids also agree, thank you, Juan, right? Right. They always just treat it as scolding session. They fail to see behind the mistake, what went wrong. Okay. And that's exactly what analyze means, right? Please do not just jump to conclusion, right? Maybe it could be a careless, it could be a misconception, right? You got to analyze very closely what went wrong in a child's mistakes. Okay, that's analyze. Okay, then what does I stand for? I stand for identify, okay, not investigate. Investigate also can, right? Same as identify, okay? All right, so please type the word identify. So what do we identify? We identify the root cause of the mistake, okay? Everyone type the word root cause, okay? We need to find out what exactly is the root cause of the mistake, right? Is it because the child doesn't know assumption? Is it because the child missed out some important keywords? Right? Is it because your child doesn't know the answering techniques? All right. So we need to know the root cause. Okay. Because without knowing the root cause, then we are not able to go to the next step. All right. So parents, give me a guess. What's the next step? What does C stand for? Conclude. Not really, Xingtong. Not really. Check. Yes, very good, right? Felicia and Sui is correct. Okay. Everyone type correct in the chat, please. Okay. So what do we correct? We need to correct the root cause and not just the answer. Okay, because we found that when a lot of students get wrong, they just copy down the answers blindly, right? And then they thought that they understand already. Okay, that's not the case, okay? Right, you actually have got to correct the root cause, right? If it's a misconception, let's say the kid doesn't know his assumption, okay? Then you must make sure the child knows, hey, what sort of keywords in the question tells assumption, right? If your child misses out some important keywords, then you must tell your child, these are the important keywords that your child cannot miss out, right? When it comes to maybe plant transport system. All right, so you have to correct root cause, because if you don't correct root cause, what's going to happen? What's going to happen when the same type of question come out again? Your child is probably going to get it wrong. All right, understand? So that's why you have to correct the root cause and not just the answer. Okay, can you understand so far? If you can understand, please type AIC in the chat so that I know that this is okay for you to follow. Okay, thank you. Type AIC. Okay, AIC is analyze, identify, correct.
Oh, by the way, parents, you may want to spend the next few seconds to just take a picture of this slide here.
Yes. Okay, yeah, thank you, Miss Go, thank you, Nance. All right, AIC, okay. And this AIC system, right, is exactly the same method that we use to teach our students in our PSLE intensive course And our PSLE intensity course, right, is a 3 days workshop that's conducted next week during the March holidays, right? They will help your child to summarize all the must-know concepts, all the must-know skills before the next exam, right? So that your child can see fast results, okay? And the intensity course is held 3 days live and online via Zoom, right? Just like this webinar over here, okay? It's live via Zoom. And how they benefit our students, right? So these are some students that actually benefited from our PSLE intensive course, right? So for example, this boy here, his name is Felix, managed to get A1 for science, math, and English. AL2 for Chinese because last year we don't have Chinese yet, okay? So this year with Miss Doreen on board, I can very confident tell you that Felix will definitely get AL for Chinese, okay? Yeah, because Chinese we just launched it this year only. And this girl here, her name is Rachel, right? So after coming for the intensive course, you can see that the science improved from AL3 to AL1, maths improved from AL2 to AL1, and English compo also improved tremendously. And she managed to score AL2 for the PSLE English. Okay, so parents, how many of you would like your child to experience the same breakthrough, just like Felix and Genesis, right? If you want, type me in the chat, please. Okay, thank you, Ryan. Yep, thank you, Anthony, Dash, Jesse, thank you, Sington, thank you, Lee CH, yeah, thank you, Grace. Right, I'm sure many of you have questions to ask us about this intensive course, right? Do not worry. I'll share with you more details later on, right? Because now I'm going to important segment, okay? Right, parents, I want to ask you an important question. Do you think that it's difficult for your child to salvage 10 to 50 marks of PSLE? Right, you think it's difficult, that difficult? You think it's can be done, that can be done, right? Because that's the main topic for tonight, right? And, right, no idea, depends, right? Depends on how difficulty of paper, is it? Okay, can be done, depends on which subject, right? Which subject is difficult, Andy? All right, maybe you can share your thoughts with us. Which subject is the one that's difficult for you? All right, maybe difficult, all right. HMT is your higher mother tongue, is it? Okay, don't worry, that one Miss Doreen will share with you more details later on, okay? Okay, yes, right, in truth, it can be done, okay, and it's about using the what method? Okay, just now, what method did I share with you? Remember the method that I shared with you just now? Yes, thank you, Grace, thank you, Jack, thank you, WY, right? The AIC method, okay? So once again, please type AIC in the chat. Okay, because why? Because if your child can use the AIC method, right, to correct his or her mistakes, your child will be able to see a quick breakthrough in marks in a short period of time. Okay, it's definitely very possible. So again, what does A stand for? Can you recall? Just Andy asked you to take a picture, right? Thank you so much. Analyze, right? What do we analyze? We analyze a mistake. And then what does I stand for? Thank you. Yes, we identify, right? So what do I identify? We identify it's a two word. What do you identify? Identify the root cause, right? Thank you so much. That's sweet, right? The root cause. Okay, we got to identify root cause of a mistake. And thirdly, we have to correct the root cause, okay? Not just a mistake, okay? We got to correct the root cause. All right, so let me show you an example on how we can apply the AIC to correct these very common maths mistakes. Okay, so first of all, let's read the question first. Okay, Mr. Motu bought 9 liters of washing detergent and used 3 out of 8 of it. The remaining washing detergent was poured in the bottles, each measuring 1/5 liters. And the question asks how much washing detergent was left. Okay, so let's analyze the students working closely and find out what went wrong, okay? So firstly, right, the student did 5/8 times 9 liter, okay? Can you want me a guess, okay? Where did 5/8 come from? Parents, can you look at the question and tell me where did 5/8 come from? 9? No, not 9, right, Jack? It should be 1, exactly, right? We take 1 whole minus 3 out of 8, okay? All right, because it's 3 out of 8 of it. If you take 1 whole, right, which is the whole, the entire washing detergent, right, minus 3 out of 8, we get 5 out of 8. Okay, and then the word off. What does off mean in mathematics? Yep, thank you, Travis. Thank you, Felicia, right? Yeah, thank you, Hyena. Thank you, Jack, right? Off means with times, okay? Right, everyone type off in the chat, right? Off with times. So the student take 5/8 times 9/1. Anything wrong here? Okay, we get 45/8 liters. So far, okay, right? Nothing wrong, right? Okay, we managed to find the leftover. Okay, and now what did the student do? The student take 45/8 divide by 1/5. Okay, why do we divide by 1/5? Okay, because right, we want to pour the remainder into bottles that measure 1/5 liters each. So that's why we divide by 1/5. Okay. And after doing the calculation, right, the student get 225/8, and she convert it to a mixed number, which is 28 and 1/8. Okay, so can you make a guess? What does a 28 in front stand for? Okay, what does a 28 in front stand for? Thank you so much, Ryan, right? The number of bottles, okay? Not the liters, right? This is the number of bottles, right? The number of bottles, okay? The BB for bottles, okay? All right, so the 28 represents the number of bottles you can use to fill up the detergents, okay? And now, the student thought that this 1/8 is the leftover detergent, which is marked wrong. Okay, which is marked wrong. So listen carefully. This 1/8, the student thought that is a leftover. So let's analyze this mistake closely, okay, and think carefully. Right, do you think this is a careless? Right, careless means the student miscalculate something, or maybe she bring down the information wrongly. Right. Do you think it's a misconception? Right, meaning there's a concept that the student doesn't understand? Or do you think it's an application? Application means the student knows the concept, but doesn't know what method to apply. Okay, you think it's A type A, B type B, C type C. All right. Okay, thank you so much. Many of you, B, 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 B. All right, some say misconception. All right, anyone say A? Oh, always say B. Okay, no one say A. Okay, it's actually answer is actually both A and B. Okay, parents, right? There's actually a careless here also. Can you make a guess? What is a careless mistake here? Right, there's actually a careless here also. Anyone can make a guess? What's the careless mistake over here? All the calculations are correct. Right? Why is there a careless mistake here? Yes, thank you, sweet, right? Never put liters. Okay, never put liters, right? Because answer must have liters. If you never put liters, right, even though the answer is correct, we'll also get penalized. Okay, no units exactly, Wendy. Okay, all right, so that's a careless mistake, right? I think this is something important that everyone should know. Okay, but most important, misconception. Okay, let's go to the next step, which is identify. Okay, what is the misconception that this student is facing? Okay, the misconception is finding the leftover in fractions. Okay, can you please type in the chat? Leftover in fractions. Okay, the 1/8 is not the leftover. All right, what should be the leftover? The leftover should be 1/8 of 1/5 liters left. Okay, so this 1/8 is not the answer. It's actually 1/8 of 1/5 liters left. Okay, okay, why is it 1/5? Because this 1/8 refers to 1/8 of one bottle. Remember, right? 28 is referring to the number of bottles, right? This 1/8 means there's 1/8 of one bottle left. And do you know what is the volume of one bottle? Do you know what's the volume of one bottle? It's 1/5 liter, right? So 1/8 of one bottle means you take 1/8 times 1/5. Okay, parents, you understand? If you understand, please start AIC in the chat. Okay, I hope this is not too complicated for you. Okay, thank you, Patrick. All right, thank you, Travis. Thank you, DH. Thank you, Anthony. Okay, all right, so it's 1/8 or 1/5. So now you can go to the last step, which is correct. Okay, so how do we correct a mistake? As you can recall, what does off means? Just now, what do we say? What does off means? We times, exactly, right? So the find leftover, we take 1/8 times 1/5, right? The answer should be 1 out of 40 liters. Okay, or some students prefer to do by this way, right? We take 28 bottles, right, times 1/5 to find all the detergent that was poured into all the 28 bottles. Okay, and then after that, we can take 45/8, minus away all the detergent used in all the bottles. You get the same answer as 1 out of 40 liters. All right, can you understand how to use the AIC method? Okay, so once again, if you can understand, please start AIC in the chat, okay? Right, so I just show you a very, very good example of AIC. And by the way, right, this is a very common P5 and P6 math questions. And even till now, right, in my classes, more than 50% still get this question wrong. So I can tell you this is a very, very common mistake, right? So if your child is getting this sort of mistake, right, please use the AIC method and correct your child mistakes. Okay? Right, so please write this down. Right, in life, there are no mistakes or failures, only lessons. Okay, so from now on, please treat every mistake as a learning opportunity. Right, apply the AIC method, and we are very confident that if you can apply correctly, your child will be able to see a quick breakthrough in the marks. All right, so let me share with you one case study. All right, her name is Rochelle. right? She started our class in P5, all right, in November last year. And then in P5 SA2, she was getting 75, right? P6, she improved to 88.5, and P6, she improved to 96.5. So can you take a look? From 75 to 96.5, how many marks improvement is this? Can you calculate? From 75 to 96.5, how many marks improvement is this? Exactly, right? It's 21.5, right? It's more than 20 marks improvement, right? How many of you find this amazing? You think this is amazing? Please type wow in the chat, okay? Right, please type wow in the chat. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Siri. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, yes, right. So it can be done, right? How can we do this? Again, we can use the EIC method to correct the child mistake, just that what we did for Rochelle over here, right? So we look at all her past exam paper, right? We spot the misconception that's facing, and then we do targeted practice on those questions until she's able to see such a breakthrough in the marks, right? So it's definitely very possible. Okay. Okay, now my next question to you parents is, how many of you think that your child get confused if he or she learns different method? Right, if you think your child get confused, right, type confused in the chat. If you think it's okay, type okay. Right, because you know in the mathematics there are a lot of methods, right? We have algebra, we got branching, we got model, right? So exactly how do we know what method to use? And parents also ask me, hey, what happens if the method that we learn over in our center is different from the method that the child learn in school, right? Will the child get confused? Okay, in reality, right, it's not the method that matters. Yeah, Krista, that's a very good question. I'll come into that sooner, Krista. That's a very good question. It's the what that matter, make a guess. Okay, what is more important than the method? Make a guess over here. Very good, Eddie. Wow, okay, can we give you a big round of applause, please? Right, it's a concept. Okay, everyone type concept in the chat, okay? Okay, why? Because if your child knows a concept, then your child can actually derive his or her own method, okay? So it's a concept is the one that's more important, okay? So in case you're wondering, parents, what are concept, right? Concept is basically an idea in your child mind or what method to apply. So examples of concepts are like assumption, working backwards, constant part, constant total, right? If you know it's constant total, then we must make total the same. All right, so the concept is the one that's more important. So just now Krista is asking a question, right? How do we know what method to apply in an exam? The answer again lies in the, come on, what word is this again? The answer lies in the concept, right? So once your child knows the concept, it's very easy to know the method to apply. Okay, so again, let's use the AIC method again to analyze this mistake. All right, first of all, there are 3 times as many 50-cent coins as 20-cent coins. The total value of the 50-cent coins is $26 more than the total value for 20-cent coins. The question asks for the total value of all the coins. Okay, so let's look at the workings over here. At first, the child draws some models, right? She drew a model for the coins and the value. Then she got very confused, right? She didn't know how to carry on. Then she drew a table, right? Number and value. Then she got confused again. Then she crossed everything. Then out of desperation, she just tikam, right her last step. And in the end, she got wrong. Okay, so can you make a guess, parents, right? Do you think this is careless? Did the student do any careless mistake? Do you think the student doesn't know the concept? Or do you think the student doesn't know the method to apply? Right, if this is A type A, B type B, C type C. Okay, right, I can see quite a good mixture here. Okay, right, some say B and C. All right, thank you so much. Hyena, thank you, Grace. All right, thank you, Gary, Felicia. Okay, right, it's actually more of an application error, right? The student doesn't know the method to apply. Okay, because you know, if you look at the concept, okay, by the way, what concept is this? Do you all know? Right, we got coins, we got value. Can you help me guess what sort of concept is this question testing on? Can you help me guess? If you got coins and then you got the value for the coins. Very good, Ryan. Number times value. Are you a student, Ryan? I think you're a student, right? Or you're a parent. Yeah, number times value, okay, right? It's a very important concept for everyone must know, okay? So number is the number of coins, but value is the money. So as you can see the workings, right? The student knows the concept, okay, but the student doesn't know the method to apply. All right, so it's more of an application error. Okay, number times value, okay? So now let's identify, okay? What is the root cause of this error? Right, the student doesn't know the method to apply, as I mentioned just now. Okay, so instead of drawing models and tables, right, what method can a student use? Right, A, assumption, B, working backwards, or C, number times value. I think it's very obvious. We see just now already. Exactly, right? It should be C, number times value, right? Okay, number is the number of coins, but value represent the what? May I guess? What does value represent? Value represent the, don't spam, hello hyena, please, don't spam. If you spam, I mean, we'll kick you out, okay? Just that one time enough already, please don't spam. Okay, value is the money, okay? Everyone type money in the chat, all right? Okay, number is the number of coins, or value is the money, okay? All right, so let's correct the mistakes. Let's find out how to use number times value to correct this question. So you got 3 coins and 1 20-cent coins, right? You got 3 50 cents. Can you see 3 times, right? 3 times means there are 3 50 cents and 1 20 cent. So now we did 3 times 50 cents. Okay, let me write down here. Okay, we did 3 times 50 cents. And then we take 1 times 20 cents. Okay, to find a value in one set. Okay, can everybody type one set in the chat? Okay, all right, we find a value in one set, right? This is considered one set. Okay, this whole thing is one set, okay? Right, so there's a bit of grouping concept involved here also. Okay, so now make a guess. Do we plus them or do we minus them? You think it's plus type plus, you think it's minus type minus. Look at the question closely. We are given the difference in their value. Take note, the 50-cent coin is $26 more. All right, do you think it's plus or minus? Okay, Ryan say plus, Hyena say plus, Nurse say minus, WY say minus. Okay, those who type plus, can you give yourself a pat on your back? Okay, because you're wrong. Okay, all right, the answer should be a minus. Okay, all right, we are all here to learn from mistake, by the way, nothing shameful. Okay, all right, we should minus. Okay, why minus? Because you're given a difference. Can you see? All right, you're given a difference. Difference is always a minus. So you get $1.30. All right, that's the difference in one set. Okay, so now can you tell me how many sets do we need to get $26? If one set, the difference is $1.30, how many sets do we need to get $26? How to get 20? Yes, we divide, right? Very good. Thank you so much. We divide. Okay, we did $26, divide by 130, you get 20 sets. Okay, so far so good. All right, and then now to find the total value of all the coins, we did 20 times 3 plus 1, right? Because why? Because in one set there are 4 coins, remember? 3 plus 1 is 4, right? So 20 times 4, the answer is 80 coins. Okay, so parents, do you think that this answer is correct? If you think it's correct, type correct. If you think it's wrong, type wrong. Okay, yes, yes means what? Correct, is it? Okay, again, Anthony, correct. Alice, correct. Joanne, correct. Jennifer, correct. Ryan, correct again. All right, so again, parents, those who think that is correct, again, give yourself another pat on your back. Okay, why? Because you just learned another important lesson. Because this is wrong. Okay, very common mistake again. Again, we're not making fun of the mistake over here. We're here to learn from all the common mistakes. Okay, we're here to learn together. Okay, so what is wrong over here? Can you all make a guess? Why is 80 not the answer? Why is 80 not the answer? Not because no dollar sign. Even if you put dollar sign also wrong. Even if you put dollar sign also wrong. Yeah, very good. See, hey, they're not asking for a number of coins. What are they asking for? They're asking for the value, right? Everyone type value in the chat, please, okay? Right, just now what do we say? Value represent the what? Value represent the money, okay? So what should we do? Should we take 20 times 4 or should we take 20 plus 170? What should we do? Do you think you should take 20 times 4 coins or do you take 20 times $1.70? It should be the $1.70 exactly, okay? Because that's the value of one set. Okay, all right, so the answer is $34. All right, have you learned something useful, parents? If you learned something useful, again, please type AIC in the chat, okay? So again, this is the power of using AIC to correct our child mistakes. So if your child is getting this question wrong, and by the way, the mistake that I share with you are very, very common mistake, okay? Right, so you know what to do, right? Please make sure that you apply the AIC and correct your child root cause of the mistake. Okay, so from now on, please learn to solve problem sums by concepts and not by chapters. Right, so for example, if you know that your child is weak in a particular concept, which is number times value, then you can do targeted practice on those particular concepts until your child can master it. All right, so these are a few other case studies, right? So for example, Isaac managed to get A1 for maths and A2 for science. And Aiden also managed to get A1 for maths, A1 for science, A2 for English. And again, all this is using the power of the AIC method. All right, so now I'll pass the stage to Andy, who will share with you tips on how to salvage marks for science.
All right, thank you, Jimmy. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, Jimmy, can you see my screen? Doreen, can you see my screen? Okay, so parents, just now, teacher Jimmy shared a lot of useful tips tonight. If you learn a lot of useful tips from him, can you type AIC in the chat box, please? Thank you very much. Yeah, if you don't mind, I just call your name, okay? I just want to make use of this opportunity to get myself familiarized with all your names here. Yeah, thank you, Ryan, Mrs. Chiu, DW, Sing Tong Dash, okay, Garrick Tan, Ryan Page, Jesse, Patrick, and everybody. Okay, Corinne and Krista, thank you very much. All right. So now in this segment, we'll be sharing with you about the steps on how to help your child salvage 10 to 15 marks for science. Okay, so just now, teacher Jimmy got share with you, asked you who here have attended our webinar for the first time. And I realized that, some of you, this is your first time attending our webinar. So if you don't mind, I spend the next 1 minute, right? I just give a very quick and short introduction about myself. Who exactly is this teacher Andy who's going to be sharing with you the science tips for tonight? So I'm actually a founder of scienceshiver.com. All right, some of you heard from me from there. It's a platform that offers pre-recorded science courses. And I'm also a science partner at Great Solution Learning Center, where I conduct the live Zoom classes, all right, Great Solution Learning Center. And over my past 9 years, right, we have I taught over 4,000 students, both in the online and the physical space. Okay, and our method is effective. I would say yes, because as of now, we have already break through more than 80% already of the students, right, achieving AL3 to AL1 grades in the science exams. Okay, and this is just one of the many, many, many testimonials that you can find from our Science Info page or the Great Solution Google reviews. All right, so we have Daniel who managed to get AL1, not only for science, but also, okay, for the math also. All right, and Danielle parents used to say that her child cannot get past AL4, but he managed to top his school's P6 standard and got a scholarship from MOE. All right, parents, you find Danielle's achievement to be amazing, you can type wow in the chat box, please. All right, yeah, because I can tell you there's a lot of sweat when it comes to teaching Danielle. Okay. Yeah, so tonight I'll be sharing with you as many tips as I can, all right, on how Daniel succeed, and you can also apply those strategies, okay, to help your child. Okay, so without further ado, all right, parents, let us begin the science segment, okay? So just now, Jimmy has already shared with you, okay, about the AIC system. And good news, parents, we are going to share with you the AIC system for science tools, all right? So it's the same 3-step process that you can apply to answer science exam-based question, be it MCQ or open. Okay, so we have the analyze, we have the identify, and we have the correct portion. Now, if I may just drill down, go into detail a little bit more, is regarding about the misconception. Okay, for science, misconception, I can tell you there are many, many others. There are many, many out there. Okay, just to give you a heads up on what exactly are some of the common misconceptions that your child could be facing. All right, parents, you may want to write this down. This is important. Okay, which I've shared with my students many times, is firstly, all right, if your child doesn't know the difference between water vapor and water droplets, that is something that you got to take note. If your child doesn't know the difference between steam and mist, your child got to take note of that also. Okay. Yep. So all these things, all right, that your child needs to be very familiarized with. Okay, these are just only the tip of the iceberg. Of course, there are many, many others out there. Okay. So this is one example of misconception, right? They misunderstood or memorized the science knowledge wrongly. Okay, so parents, you understand so far? Can follow? If you can follow, type AIC in the chat box, please. Okay. So tonight we want to drill into this AIC so that you can apply to your child's revision. Okay. All right, parents. Now, before I would ask you this one, I want to ask you this next question now. Is that, may I ask all of you here, right, have you received back your child's weighted assessment results for science? For science, I just would like to know whether you have received it. If you have received it, can you type yes? And if you have not received it, you can type no. Okay, I see a lot of parents have received it. Oh, no exam, Ryan Pay. Okay, thank you for sharing. Non-weighted, yeah. Okay, then may I know your child's grades for your weighted or your non-weighted assessment results? Yeah. Your child's grades? Like how many marks out of 100? How many marks out of 30? Wow, all right, 28.5. Okay, yep, all true. Thank you for sharing. We have review about this mark. Okay. Jennifer is 85 out of 100, is it, I guess? I see. Okay, Santil, thank you for sharing. Wow, I see some, the mark range are quite huge. Yeah, some just pass, some just barely pass. Some of them did very well. Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you for sharing with me. Yeah, so today we will be sharing with you those as many tips as I can, all right, to help your child salvage the 10 to 15 marks. Okay. Now, another question that I would like to ask all the parents here tonight is this. Okay, as you know, right, how many marks is allocated for MCQ segment for the PSLE science exams? Parents, you all should know this. Okay, yeah, 56 marks. All right, so not 35. Okay, Ryan P. Yeah, it's 56, but 56 out of 100 marks. So some parents think, oh, teachers and teacher and the science is the easier to score. Now, if you think the science is easier to score, right, please seize the opportunity. Yeah, I always tell the parents also and also the students, if you think that science is easier to score, the easier subject to score, please don't rest on the laurels when the child is only getting AL1, sorry, not AL1, AL3, okay, or AL3 grades, okay? Yeah, if you think you can improve, try to get AL2. If you can improve, try to get AL1. All right? So, yep, so that is what I'll be sharing with you here so far. Okay, parents, you understand? Understand that AIC in the chat box, please. Yep, so seize the moment. All right, make sure that your child can get AL2 or AL1. Yeah, it's doable. Okay, so parents, I would like to ask you about this science question. Right, do you tell your child to complete past year papers and assessment book to do well for science exams? All right, I'm pretty sure it's a resounding yes, right? All right, well, Ryan, you don't tell your child to complete. Wow, so through visualization, through videos, okay. But I looked at the vast majority, I think almost all of you, yeah, all right, you'll tell your child to complete all the as many past paper assessment book as possible, right? Yeah, it's SOP, right? Travis, right, has already explained, share it very well, standard operating procedure. Yep. So, but however, all right, what is the issue about past paper assessment book? Yeah, what is the issue that I have had and I would like to share with you tonight that I have had with past paper assessment. Yes, they change your question. See it, very good. Yeah, there are answers. Okay, they can refer to answers. Some of them no explanation. Okay, yeah. Okay, now if I may just narrow down the question a little bit more. When you tell a child to complete the entire past paper, okay, what happened? Does your child get more confused? Or does a child get more tired like this boy here? Naturally, right? It may stress them out, right? Yeah. Now, what is one big problem about past year paper? Okay, is that parents, you can type this up. They test all concepts. All concepts. Yeah, especially when you look at all the past year paper like end of year exam paper.
Oops, sorry, I think Andy got disconnected. Andy, are you still there?
Okay, yeah, and I'm here. My Zoom screen there a bit. Sorry.
Okay.
So exam. Let me just repeat again. Exam papers test all concepts. Okay. Yeah, but however, is your child weak in all the concepts? Is your child weak in all the concepts? The answer is no, right? Yeah, definitely. It's a resounding no. Okay. So that is why, all right, when it comes to past year paper, it's like your child is doing repeated practice, and your child is wasting precious time. Okay. And so what must your child do? What should your child do then? All right. If you do not want your child to complete past paper, and yet past paper is very important, right? To help your child to master the topic. Yeah. So what should your child do? Parents, do you know? Very good, Wendy. All right. Parents, all right. Can you look at the chat box? Wendy has mentioned it already. Know the concept of focus. Very good, Alex. Okay, we should practice question. Your child should practice question that test on the weak concepts. So parents, can you type out? Okay, focus on weak concepts. Write this forward. Focus on weak concepts. Yeah, all right. Or focus on weak areas. Very good. Okay. Yeah, very good, Grace. Narrow down the key areas. Okay. Yeah. So parents, I'm going to share with you this slide here. Right. You don't have to copy anything. Later, once I explain to you, you will then take a picture. Okay. So the first step is to identify the concept the child is weak at. Okay. How to go about doing that? Look at your child's mistakes. Identify the concept test. Link it to concept test. As you know, right, parents, all science questions will test a specific science concept. It can be evaporation, condensation, pollination, fertilization, okay, the forces, okay, energy conversion, all these things. Next, look at the past paper. Search for questions that test your child's weak concepts. Right? It can be open-ended or MCQ. If you want a child to work on, the one topic like forces, right? You where the child weak in forces, just select 10 questions. And if you're not sure like how many questions split up between MCQ and OEQ, you can split up 50-50, 50%, 50%. Okay, so 5 will be for MCQ, the other 5 will be for open. Okay. Step number 3 will be you tell your child to complete them and go through the answers. Using what method? AIC method, okay? I'll share with you how to use the AIC method to go through science questions. Few days later, you can repeat step 2 and 3 for other concepts, all right? So parents, you can take a picture of this. Yeah, so this is just a repetitive practice. This is what's meant by doing targeted practice. Focus questions and tests on weak concepts. Now, then some of you will have questions, Teacher Andy, how do I identify the weak concepts? Well, it's time to do a few practice, okay? Ready? Let's go. So I'm going to show you this particular question. Okay, John set up an experiment as shown in the diagram below. When he placed a test tube into a beaker of ice cubes, the ink in the glass tube rose first, then fell. So when I see these words, I will underline or highlight it already. Okay, yep. So this is when I see the word first, then fell. Parents, do you know what kind of words is this? When I say first, then fell, what kind of words is this? Right, it's telling your child the what? The sequence. All right, so parents, you may want to type it out. All right, it's telling your child the sequence. Okay, yep. So the first part of the scenario is rose, followed by fell. Okay, very, very important. Yeah. All right. So now I'm going to share with you the 4 options. Okay, these are the 4 options. Now, parents, before I ask you to attempt this question, can you help me by looking at these 4 options and find out what concepts is this question testing you here? What science topic or concept is this question testing you here? Wow, very good. Seaweed, right? This is about heat. Okay. Specifically under the heat topic, what concept is that? What concept under the heat topic is that? Okay. Is it about conductors of heat? Is it about the effects of heat? Heat transfer, very good. Okay. Yeah, so in other words, it's about heat transfer and the concept tested is expansion contraction. Very good, Mrs. Chu. All right, we're interested in the expansion and contraction of the substance. Okay. Now, parents, why don't you try out? What do you think is the answer here? Okay. What do you think is the answer here? All right, I see answers are coming in. Some parents choose 3. Some parents choose 4. Some choose 2. Some choose 1. All right. Okay. So ready, parents. I'm going to show you the answer already. Yeah. Okay. The answer is number 4. Okay. So for those parents who got it wrong, don't worry. All right. I'm going to use the AIC method, right? So you can see, right? You are the student now. So you use the AIC method. Once you learn how to use it, you can apply it to your child's revision. Okay. So let's quickly go through why option 1 is wrong. Okay. Analyze. Why is option 1 wrong? Okay, so when it comes to science, analyzing part, right, we just have to look at the options and narrow down, okay, this is wrong, why is it wrong? Then next, we identify the misconception. Now, parents, when you look at this, what is the word that tends to confuse you? What word in the first option tends to confuse you? Contracted. Okay, contracted is become smaller, right? Any other words? No other words really. Only one word that you'll find very confusing. Okay, for many students, when it comes to analyzing this first statement, they will find the word before to be very confusing. Yeah, the word before is extremely confusing for many students. They will ask which one happened first. Is it the test tube or is it the beaker? Right? Yeah. So this is a misconception. Test tube contracts first, followed by the beaker. And this is wrong. Right? Yeah, right. Now, Huang An, thank you very much for highlighting that. Yeah. So then once we identify misconception, what must we do? We must correct the errors. In fact, the correction here is both the test tube and the beaker contract at the same time. Why? Why do both of them contract at the same time? Well, if you look at this setup here, what do you notice? The ice is cold. Is the ice gaining heat or losing heat? Is the ice gaining heat or losing heat? Oh, wow. Many of you are writing losing heat. It's not losing heat. It's actually gaining heat. Ice is gaining heat. Ice is gaining from where? Ice is gaining from where? In the context of the question, they're gaining from the test tube first. The test tube first. All right, they're gaining from the test tube first. Okay. Yep. So the test tube is actually losing heat to the ice. Confusing? Yeah. So that you are exactly in the shoes of a child already. All right. The ice is gaining heat from the test tube. The test tube is losing heat to the ice. Okay. I'm going to say that. I'll repeat one more time. The ice is gaining heat from the test tube. The test tube is losing heat to the ice. All right. Because ice is cold, so the test tube will losing to ice. Now, when the test tube loses heat to the ice, what happens? What happened to the test tube? Does the test tube contract? Yes, right? The test tube will contract. So when the test tube contracts, does it have a smaller volume? Does the test tube have a smaller volume? The air in the test tube have a smaller volume? Yes, right? So does it lead to the air rising? To the ink rising? The answer is yes. Okay. So you all see the sequence already? Then next, why does the ink fail? Why does the ink fail? Because eventually the air in the test tube will lose heat to the ice. Exactly, right? The air in the test tube will lose heat to the ice. And when the air in the test tube loses heat to the ice, does the air contract? Yes. And when the air contracts, does the ink fail? Because now the air occupies a smaller space. There you go. Parents, do you understand? You understand that AIC in the chat box. Okay. Yep. So once when we understand why the ink rose and fell, you'll realize that, right, the AIC method can be used quite easily already. Yeah. Okay. So why is the part here correct? Is because both the test tube and the beaker will contract at the same time. Why? Why will they contract at the same time? Because the ice cubes, they are in contact with the test tube and the beaker, right? So naturally, they will contract at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now I move on to option 2. Why is option 2 wrong? Okay, parents, why is option 2? What is the mistake here? What's identify the misconception? What's the misconception here? What misconception do you see in option 2? Okay, yes, very good. The ink. Ryan Pay. Good job. The ink expansion, right? Does it make sense? The ice is so far away from the ink. How can the ink contract? Right or not? So it doesn't make sense at all. Okay, so to correct your child's mistake, highlight to your child, hey, ink is too far away. How can the ink expand? It doesn't make sense at all. Okay. And option 3, why is option 3 wrong? I see a lot of parents choose option 3. So let me quickly go through why option 3 is wrong. Okay. And the answer is because of the wrong sequence of events. Okay. So take note, wrong sequence of events. All right. Parents, I would like you to type out the word sequence again one more time. All right. This is to let you know that science and English sometimes can be combined together. All right. So if your child doesn't know the word before, this is a very good practice for your child. Okay. And how to correct this mistake? Your child will then need to know that the test tube contract first. The air inside the test tube will contract later. Okay. All right. Now we'll move on to option number 4. Why option number 4 is correct? And this is the answer. Okay. So as a teacher, we will definitely break down the process like, oh, what happened in each step? Test tube loses heat. Air inside pushes up the ink. And then the air then loses heat and contracts. Okay. So parents, when you look at this statement, what do you notice? Do you notice there are certain keywords that have been used again and again? All right. All right. So you see the word contract. What else do you see? Lose heat and loses heat. Okay. Yep. So parents, this is something that you got to take note of the phrasing. Right. So there are many other benefits of going through AIC. Is that you train your child on the open-ended questions. All right. Okay. So this is the heat gain, heat loss question. So parents, take note, when it comes to practicing question, practice based on the weak concepts. Okay. And here are some of the case studies, all right, of our students who have done well by following when we use the AIC method and we do targeted practice. Okay, targeted practice. So we have student like Ariel, where he managed to got 81. all right, and the highest in the school is 85, okay, and she scored 50 for the MCQ. Yeah, and Yuan Ka managed to get 90, Curly managed to get 89. And then for Sherry, right, this is a case study I want to share with you. When Sherry first joined our class, right, she only got an AL5 for science. Yeah, and then through targeted practice, we managed to bring her up to AL3. Okay, because you can see a quick boost in the marks already. Oh, this is my aerial weakness. Let's do targeted practice. But how did she manage to get AL1 in the end, right? And manage to get a scholarship, right? AL1 grade and get a scholarship. Okay, so parents, the next segment that I want to share with you tonight is open-ended questions. Right, parents, are you ready? If you're ready, can you type ready in the chat box? Okay, because I want to share with you some tips on how to unace the open-ended question segment. All right, that Sherry has managed to do it. Okay, all right. So parents, I'd like to ask you this question. Does your child memorize scientific keywords to conquer the open-ended questions? All right, naturally, right, scientific keywords are so important, right? You don't memorize at least. Okay, if your parents, your to the parent, if your child don't memorize it, I think you're going to get penalized marks really. Okay, so memorize scientific keyword is extremely important. Yeah, all right. Yes, and once you memorize keyword, you realize, hey, how come my child is still losing marks? Right or not? He's still losing marks. It's because your child, all right, realize that your child must need to have the correct phrasing. Okay, thank you, Alice. Yes, very good. All right, no wonder you say no, right? Because phrasing is needed as well. Okay, or they do not know how to apply in a scientific keyword exactly. Okay, so how can a child achieve both? It's actually by parents step out. Okay, answering techniques. I want to step out these towards answering technique. Your child needs to apply the answering techniques to suit the question. Okay, yep, answering techniques. Okay, yep, extremely important. Right. So let me share with you how come answering technique can solve all these problems with keywords and the phrasing. Okay. Now, this is what your child will learn in primary 6 when it comes to the energy conversion topic. All right. And this is the answering technique that that we are going to apply tonight. Okay. So parents, if you want, you can take a picture, okay, of the answering technique on energy conversion. What do you notice here, parents, about this answering technique? You will see more or less object and also the link back to the question. 3 parts, more or less, name of object, link back to the question, right? Yeah, so these are the 3 critical aspects. Okay, so without further ado, let us apply AIC and answering techniques together. So Mali used a battery operated motor to pull his boat up from the water as shown below. Suggest one change to the setup so that the boat can be pulled up faster. Explain your answer using energy conversion. So parents, what science concept is testing you here? What science concept is testing you here? Okay, energy, right? Yeah, it's so easy. So parents, if you find it very difficult, right, to spot the question, remember step number 1, all right, spot the key concepts. Sometimes you can just look at the question, you can help you already. Start to provide targeted practice. Okay, energy conversion, very good. So let's say this is what your child wrote. Parents, do you think this answer is correct or wrong? Do you think this answer is correct or wrong? Okay. So I see we are very fast. Wendy, all right, yeah, very good. It's a resounding no, right? It's obviously wrong. So what is wrong here? Okay, what is wrong? Now, without the answering technique, are you able to use AIC to guide your child? Not really, right? So that's why you need answering technique. Answering technique is such a powerful tool. All right, once you have the answering technique, you will have the framework, and you can use this framework to guide your child already. Right, parents, you understand? You can understand, you can type AIC in the chat box, please. Okay? Yep, so this is the answering technique. So from there, you can use it. It's like a powerful tool for you. So let's compare. Analyze. What is missing here, parents? First step, what is missing? Look at this statement. What is missing? Yeah, very good. More. Where is the word more? Right, because the question already gave you the comparative words faster, right? It's a comparative word, so must have more energy. What else is missing? What else is missing other than the word more? What else is missing? Look at the answering technique. The answering technique gives you the clue already. KE in the boat. Yes, the name of the object is missing, right? The KE of the boat. Where is the KE of the boat? Wow, well done, superb, parents. I think you all can start to mark the paper already for this topic. Yeah, all right. And not only that, there's one more thing that you all have not highlighted. This part here, converted. Okay, so we need to have converted. Yeah, all right. So with answering technique, you can apply to the open-ended questions. Okay, so these are the parts that is wrong. Next, okay, once you know the mistake already, right, you analyze already. Next step is identify. So is there any misconception here? Based on this statement, do you see any misconception? No, right? Ah, very good. So we can skip the identify portion. Okay, there's nothing much to be identified. So sometimes AIC, right, you don't have to find the misconception. Sometimes it doesn't have. But I can tell you from a teacher, right, I can tell you what are the common misconceptions. All right. But I will move on to this part here, okay? So to correct the correction is use the answering technique, all right, to provide the energy conversion. Okay. All right. So let me quickly share with this answer. This is how it looks like. So you can see with the word more, with the word converted to, all right, with the word pull up faster. Okay. Yeah. So parents, do you understand how answering technique can be used to help you correct your child's mistake? All right. Yeah, this is AIC. Okay. So I'm going to share with just one case study, all right, of Asher. Asher is a bright student. When he first joined, he get AL3, but we noticed that he need to make all these kind of refinements. So naturally, through our PSLE intensive course and the rest, he managed to score an AL1 grade. All right. So of course, there are many other case studies out there. Okay. So remember, parents, always apply the template answers or answering techniques that suit the question. Now, without further ado, I'll pass on to Doreen, who will be sharing with you more about the PSLE Chinese. Oh, Doreen cannot hear you.
OK，好，大家晚上好，我是 Miss Doreen，然后呢，我是等我一会儿啊，我那个共享一下屏幕。OK，我在国立台湾师范大学毕业，那目前呢，就是有10年的对外汉语教学的经验。目前在那个 gslc 的话，担任华文老师。那我在教华文的过程当中，基本上学生都是180%的华文及格率哈，然后有78%的学生拿到了 AL1跟 AL2的成绩。接下来的话，等一下。那我们刚刚 Andy 还有 Jimmy 有跟我们分享过，就是 AIC 的原则，有一些家长可能是刚刚进来的，那我用华文再解释一次。OK，那首先的话，我们就是要先分析孩子们在做题的时候为什么会做错。那分析好他的错的原因了以后，我们要怎么样找出他错误的根本的原因？找出问题了以后呢，我们要去纠正。除了要纠正它原本的原因以外，根本的原因以外，而且不只是答案。如果他是粗心的话，我们就要想办法帮他改掉这个粗心的坏习惯。好，那家长如果可以理解的话，可以帮我看一下 AIC 吗？然后我看一下 ，OK，好，那谢谢。就是接下来的话，我们可以看一看，等一下 ，OK，好。来，接下来的话，我们可以看到，就是说，哎，在阅读理解方面，家长通常会觉得很难拿分数。不知道是不是各位的小朋友，就是在阅读理解方面，是不是就是分数比较差一点？如果不介意的话，可以给我看看，就是他们的分数就是大概是在几分？因为是22分嘛，满分是22分。小朋友通常会拿几分呢？15分、16分，写太多扣分。OK， 好，Wendy 写太多扣分，12.5。OK，you OK17。OK，17、18。OK，Hersia 哦，Higher Chinese 45分37。OK，都很 OK，好，17，好，谢谢。好，那其实呢，孩子在阅读理解分数会比较难拿高分，主要的原因的话就是他会做错嘛，做错了以后呢，我们就是要纠正他的错误。OK，要发现他的问题，然后要纠正。OK，那现在我就跟大家分享一下一个小段落，然后我们来看看孩子他实际遇到的问题。好，来看一下这里，就是这里是一个小段落。别去，王老师禁止我们离开营地。利明说，可杰杰不听劝告，继续往附近的森林走去。这时，王老师气冲冲地跑了过来，骂道：“你不但没团队精神，还无法遵守露营规则，你回家吧。” 好，这是一个小段落哈，可以理解，就是我说的够明白吗？如果可以理解的话，可以帮我打个可以，谢谢。这是一个小段落，这是一个文章的小段落。好，可以明白。好，那我们来看一下这个小朋友他做这个有关反应的题，他的问题在哪里？好，他的题目是这样子的：杰杰走向森林去时，王老师有什么反应？这是一个4分的题目。那小朋友怎么写呢？他写王老师气冲冲地跑了过来，骂道：“你不但没团队精神，还无法遵守露营规则，你回家吧。”那这是什么类型的错误？我们来看一下。OK，就是粗心、不理解问答、回答格式错误。哎，我看到 Wendy 给我回答了3，回答格式错误，有2，有3。OK，好，非常好，谢谢 DW。OK，那它是什么问题呢？首先第一个的话，它是粗心；第二个问题就是他回答格式错误。OK，刚刚看到很多家长都跟我都答对了。那我们来看一下。既然知道它的问题在哪里，我们就要来看一看它的错误粗心在哪。首先，第一个，它粗心的话就是气冲冲，他把这个冲3点水的那个3点水，他写成3点水，本来是2点水的，他写错了。还有的话就是说格式错误嘛，那我们知道就是在回答那个阅读理解的时候，我们不可以放冒号跟开引号，我们要把那个对话的句子换成那个换成那个句号的，所以这里的冒号跟开引号是不能有的。还有的话就是这个你，他说骂到你不当，那这个你的话我们要改，改什么呢？改成节节或者是他。OK，所以我们要看到它的错误在哪，那我们要纠正哈。好，那我们来看一下这个。那我们刚刚有说答案有错字，可以帮我看一下吗？A、B、C 哪一个是答案有错字吗？然后可以麻烦你们帮我 key 一下吗？哎，哪一个是答案有错字？对的，所以 C 对的，谢谢，非常好。对，所以是他答案有错字，因为他粗心嘛，所以写错字。那答题格式错误呢？我们刚刚说了，它有一个答题格式错误。对的，非常好。LSA 回答阅读理解的时候，我们要把对话的句子变成陈述句，陈述句就是说要变成句号的句子。那最后一个名称没改就是 B 了。对的，Wendy 很好，AD 对，你要改它或者节节哈。好，既然我们知道他的问题了，那我们就要纠正了。哎，纠正了，你看纠正了以后，有2个小朋友他给了我们不同的答案。我们来看看他们2个谁可以拿到比较高的分数。好，我们来看男孩怎么写。男孩写王老师跑了过来，说他没有团队精神，也没遵守露营的规则，要他回家。这是男孩写的。那 OK，来下一个。王老师气冲冲地跑了过来，说杰杰没有团队精神，还无法遵守露营的规则，要他回家。觉得男孩可以拿比较高分的，帮我打1；如果觉得女孩可以拿比较高分数的，可以帮我打2。OK，好 Jessie 2。OK，谢谢 Crystal。OK，我们来看一下。哎，这2个小孩他有什么问题哈？那首先的话，我们来看，哎，男孩的话，他直接写王老师跑了过来，他没有写到王老师气冲冲的跑过来，就是王老师很生气的跑过来，他没写到，没写到的话，分数就会被老师扣了分。哎，老师会觉得你没有把老师的反应写进去。还有的话，哎，女孩有什么问题呢？女孩的话，她有一个很大的问题哦，她这里是说杰杰没有团队精神，我们可以写说杰杰没团队精神吗？只是普通的说吗？我们来看一下。OK，那我们刚刚说4分的题，我们要有4个 point，要有4个要点。那刚刚有说了，第一个就是说杰杰走向森林去的时候，王老师气冲冲的跑过来，有写到这气冲冲的话，基本上是满分1分。那刚刚骂杰杰没团队精神，骂跟说还是有比较大的差别的。说的话只是普通的说，那骂的话有带着生气的情绪在里面，所以我们要把骂写进去，他这样子才会拿到满分1分。那下面的话都是一样的，也没遵守露营的规则，跟要他回家。这是 完整4分能够拿到4分的题目，我们要这么写。OK， 你写太多也是会扣分，写太少或者是没改，我们也是会扣分哦。对，比较严一点。那我们来看一下，就是跟大家分享一下一个我觉得比较好的，对家长、对我们还是对孩子都很好的。当你尽了自己最大的努力的时候，失败也是伟大的哦。只有我们付出所有的努力，不管成绩最后是怎么样，我们都会为此感到骄傲，因为我们努力过了。那这里的话是给大家分享一下，就是一个家长的回馈。这个孩子呢，就是他是在小6的时候，我接到的一个学生，他就妈妈给我发的消息，他说如果没有您的耐心和教导，小6成绩不会这么好，真的很感谢您。然后呢，因为我还有教他的弟弟妹妹，所以他有说，哎，也很开心。上课的时候，他们很开心的补习，然后一直听到笑声，这是我也感到特别开心的事。那这孩子呢，我在接手他的时候，我发现他的阅读理解跟作文方面是比较弱的，这是一般小孩子会遇到的问题。那我们用了我们的那个 AIC 的原则来再教他，然后这孩子在阅读理解方面都提分了。也很开心，因为这孩子最后进了他想要进的学校，就是我们新加坡很有名的4大之一，所以就特别高兴。对，然后就是非常的荣幸。那接下来的话，我们就要来看一下。哎，刚我们也又回到这个问题了，阅读理解很难拿分数。对，除了要纠正错误以外，我们还要怎么做呢？孩子要怎么样做才能够拿到高分呢？OK，我们就要抓到技巧哈，就是要抓到技巧。可是哎，你会说哎，技巧好多题型啊，阅读理解好多好多的题型，那我们要怎么样去抓到技巧？OK，那我们来看一下阅读的理解的题型有哪一些，比如说活动开始前，老师特地交代了什么事情，什么的题型。还有就是你认为小安的行为对吗？为什么？哎，这种题目常常会是小朋友不太会回答的。OK，他可能可以说对还是不对，但是他没有办法解释为什么。还有就是吴太太是个怎样的人，从哪里可以看得出来？OK，从哪里可以看得出来的题目，小朋友比较容易回答，但是是怎么样的人，小朋友会比较难理解或者回答出正确的答案。那这一些呢，我们在我们的接下来的那个 holiday program，就是3月的 PSLE 的那个 holiday program，我们都会教到各种的阅读理解的技巧。那今天因为时间的关系，我就跟大家分享一个关于反应的那个阅读理解的题型。来，首先的话，那个关于的什么反应的，我们可以看一下，看到爷爷跌倒时，例文有什么反应？OK，还有就是看到爷爷跌倒在地，例文的反应如何？那通常有关反应的题目，就会问这2种，可以吗？如果我这里说的大家如果可以理解的话，可以帮我打一个 yes 或者是1都可以。对。可以，OK，所以会有2个题目，2种问法哈。好，那我们可以接下来看，来，那我们在做阅读理解的时候，它也是有一个答题的步骤的。那首先第一个的话，我们就是要画出关键词，第二个就是要在文中里面找出答案，包括我们人的反应啊。我人的反应有包括一些关于的动作、语言、心情跟内心的想法，那这一些都是反应，都要写下来，包括对话，对话就是说话也是它的反应。那我们要把对话问句就要变成陈述句，就要变成句号的句子，我们也要写下来。还有的话，第3个就是要写下提纲回答问题，比如说刚刚这个看到爷爷跌倒在地，例文，那这个你的题目前面要写下来，然后再写他的反应是怎么样的。好，如果这里没有问题的话，可以帮我打个yes，OK，好 ，yes 可以，好，谢谢你，洪安 ，OK，那我们来看一下有关于这个的那个图片。这是之前有上过新加坡新闻的，然后就是说在祖屋外面有遇到就是有很多猴子爬到了那个祖屋外面，祖屋墙上。那我们来看一下这个小段落，然后我们来做一下有关于题那个反应的题。像 林女士打开窗，准备把晒好的衣服收进来。眼前的一幕让她惊呆了，只见一群猴子正在对面的祖屋外墙玩耍。那几只猴子紧抓住柱子的两侧，尾巴平贴在墙上，神气十足地从高处滑下。林女士觉得这简直就像电影里的情节，便拿出手机把这情景录了下来。OK， 这里的话，大家可以理解这个小段落的意思吗？如果可以的话，帮我打个 yes， 可以吗？可以。OK， 这是讲猴子跟林女士的反应。OK， 好，谢谢安妮。好，那我们来看一下这个题目，它是这么问的。林女士看到猴子在祖屋外墙玩耍时反应如何？那我们可以看到这是4分的题，一样有一个男孩，他回答了这道题，他写的是什么呢？他写的是眼前的一幕让他惊呆了，只见一群猴子正在对面的祖屋外墙玩耍，那几只猴子紧抓住柱子的两侧，尾巴平贴在墙上，神气十足地从高处滑下。好，来，我们来看一下。首先，第一个不理解题目，答案不完整，格式错误。来，请你告诉我，这男孩有什么问题 ？OK， OK，WY，OK， 安东尼，对的，不理解题目，很好，大家都知道。对，他首先第一个，他有什么问题？他不理解题目，他根本就不知道题目在问什么。他这里的话，还有的话，第二个问题就是，他的题目在这里。林女士看到猴子在祖屋外墙玩耍时反应如何？那还有一个的问题就是它的格式有问题，格式错了，就是它的 format 错了。那我们来看一下，第一个，眼前的一幕让他惊呆了。这里的话，惊呆了，它其实是有分数的。这里是林女士看到猴子的时候，她是吓到，没有错。但是呢，她不应该就是这样子照抄下来，她应该要把那个答案换，就是跟着这里要把这个题目抄下来。林女士看到猴子在祖屋外墙玩耍时，让她惊呆了，这样子才有分数。那后面的话，他只是在写猴子的反应，猴子在做什么，他不是在写林女士在做什么。所以我们可以知道说，这道题他老师如果可能会给个半分，而已。好，那我们来看一下，他其实就是照抄，他根本不知道题目在问什么，他其实就照抄这个眼前的一幕让他惊呆了，然后到神气十足的从高处滑下，就直接抄这一个答案而已。那我们来看一下这女孩怎么回答这道问题呢？林女士看到猴子在祖屋外墙玩耍时反应如何？那女孩是这么说的，她写的是，写太多。OK， 林女士看到猴子在祖屋外墙玩耍时，觉得这简直就像电影里的情节，便拿出手机把这情景录了下来。那我们来看一下，这女孩她回答问题有什么问题呢？第一个不理解题目，第二个答案不完整，第三格式错误。哇，非常好，谢谢大家。对，大家都说了，她的答案不完整，她少了什么呢？我们来看，她少了什么呢？首先，后面这她有写到，她有写惊呆了，对的，非常好，谢谢。对，她有少写了，就是她少写了惊呆了。OK， 但凡他有写上惊呆了，基本上他就可以拿到满分了。好，所以满分的答案应该怎么写？就是说，林女士看到猴子在祖屋外墙玩耍时，她惊呆了，然后觉得这简直就像电影里的情节，便拿出手机把这情景录了下来。4个都有写，4个 point 有写，就可以拿到4分了。好。那接下来的话，
罗丽老师你好，想问你一个问题啊，很多学生是会不会忘记写那提纲啊？你可以跟家长说那提纲是哪里吗
OK， 题干的话就是这个林女士看到猴子在祖屋外墙玩耍时，直接就是这个是题干，就直接写下来就好了，然后再写他怎么样。
所以会有很多学生忘记写这个提纲吗？
会有这个，他们可能尤其是到越到高年级的时候，他们会直接写他怎么样直接写。
OK，
对，
所以要很小心的这点。
对，好，来，接下来的话就是跟大家分享一下，就是我觉得比较好的词，那个 明年。不论你在什么时候开始，重要的是开始之后就不要停止。可能现在大家都觉得，哎，3月了，那时间越来越少了。其实不是的，你但凡现在开始努力，相信你在拼一拼，在接下来的半年里也会考到很好的成绩哦。OK，来，那这个的话是那个同学做的那个题目，这是第一个，他刚开始的时候他做反应的题，他遇到的问题，可以看到他其实连很多东西他都不太会写，然后只是大概在拆答案而已。那后来用了我们 AIC 的原则，教了他以后，他基本上就可以都可以回答到，只不过还是有一点点小粗心，就是可能心理跟心理写错了，就是比较可惜的，就是被扣了半分。好，那接下来的话，我们就把时间交给我们的 Jerry， 谢谢。
Testing 1, 2, 3. If you can hear me loud and clear, type loud and clear in the chat box. And as I'm setting up, right, have you all gotten back your English paper? Have you all gotten back your child's test paper? Maybe you can let me know the marks. Still haven't gotten back. For those who haven't gotten back the WA, when do you all expect to get it back? Okay, thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Sing Tang. Thank you, Niha. Thursday. Thank you, Sweet. Thank you, Unifor. No WA. Yeah, most schools, they should have WAs by now already, because I think a few years back, they tried to remove WA, and then a lot of parents, I think, I think the parents and the teachers and the students themselves kind of feedback that they need like a marker halfway, to see whether the kids are progressing or not in their studies. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take over for the English segment over here. Thanks to Miss Doreen for sharing the Chinese segment. So just a quick introduction to parents who first time hearing who am I. If you are the first time, if this is your first time attending our webinar, type first time in the chat box. Or first time seeing me, type first time in the chat box. First time seeing us, type first time in the chat box. Yeah, so I'm the founder of Great Solution Learning Center and Writing Samurai. We have pre-recorded courses on writingsamurai.com. More than 10,000 students have already enrolled for our online courses over the years. And at Great Solution Learning Center, we have more than 2,000 monthly enrollments across all the affiliated brands and Great Solution Learning Center itself. So actually, there are more teachers than just the 4 of us. We got 20 plus teachers teaching classes around the clock. Yep, so yeah, we're quite a large team. So a lot of people who join our Great Solution or Writing Samurai think that we are famous for creative writing only, but actually we do create a lot of results. We do bring in a lot of good results for English as well. So I'd like to share with you this testimonial from this boy called Elijah. So Enoch's brother, who joined our classes 2 years back, managed to get AL2 for English. So he did very well. Last year, his younger brother Elijah joined us, and the younger brother came in with an AL5. And I remember that when he joined our class, right, he was telling me like, my brother keeps making fun of me, keeps calling me stupid, keeps calling me slow. Can I ever like improve and get good results? And then, I told him, don't worry, with the AIC system and a lot of the other Great Solution and Writing Samurai methodology, you're definitely going to see improvements if you just pay attention and just do the homework and just work hard. So sure enough, he came in with an AL5 mark. By the end of PSLE, he jumped to AL2, which is the exact same mark as his brother, who had a stronger foundation and was a faster learner. By the way, these two siblings, they came from China. So I suppose most people here come from English-speaking families, right? If you come from English-speaking families, type English-speaking in the chat box. If you come from English-speaking families, type English-speaking in the chat box. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, these two brothers from China has done it. So all those from English-speaking families, you have no excuse. Okay, if you wish your child can get big improvements like Elijah, type interested exclamation mark in the chat box. I'll show you how. Vietnamese families, yeah, yep. Yeah, so don't worry, we have taught students from who came from many different countries: Koreans, Vietnamese, Vietnam, Myanmar, China, Malaysia. Yeah. I think the furthest we thought is Fiji Islands. Okay. So anyway, how do you help your child revise for English? If you don't know how to revise for English, type IDK in the chat box. If you are A, if you do more assessment books and past year papers, type A. If you just read I think the Stella notes provided by the school, type B. Yeah. Or if you are C, no home already. It's my child's fault for not reading books. Now I just pray, type C. Yeah, I like to look at the comments because towards September, a lot of parents type C. Now a lot of parents type A. but according to the month, in September, everybody types. A lot of parents will type C. Okay, read books but still not improving. Let me tell you why. Okay, so I think you have heard about the AIC system many times today already. But for English, right, I just want you to focus on the C portion over here. So we're going to correct the misconception, not just the answer. The problem with a lot of students who are reading books, not improving, and basically not seeing any improvements in English is basically the kids, all your kids are just correcting answers. They're not correcting the misconception. Everybody type misconception in the chat box and then write down in your notes. This part is super important. Misconception, this part is super important. Okay, misconception. So there are two, like when you understand a mistake, right? When you correct a mistake, there are two parts. Okay, one part is, you just do the corrections and you just have a very surface level understanding. The second part, you go deeper and to find the root cause of the misunderstanding. So I'm going to show you what it means for English. Okay, but first, if you want your kids to get crazy improvements like what Elijah had went through, had experienced, and I'll show you a lot of other case studies later, the secret is actually to find recurring errors. Everybody write down recurring errors in your notes and then type in the chat box. In English, right, and even Chinese also, in a lot of language-based subjects, the errors are very systematic, meaning the moment you see a past tense or a tense error, you're probably going to see the same tense error appear multiple times across multiple segments. If you see a subject-verb agreement error, you're probably going to see that subject-verb agreement error appear again multiple times in synthesis and transformation, in composition writing, in situational writing. So when it comes to getting good grades in English, all your child needs to do is find all these recurring errors and correct them. So it's very much like playing whack-a-mole. Each time a recurring error pop up, you need to whack the recurring error on the head. Okay? All right. So let's try to spot the error over here. After Jaden something out who was responsible for the vandalized mural, he went to report the matter to the authorities. So I want you all to pretend to be children. I want you all to pretend to be students, right? So at least you know what's going through your child's mind. Okay, after Jaden something out who was responsible for the vandalized mural, he went to report the matter to the authorities. So these are the answers: find, finds, found, and a lot of people will give the answer for number 3. Okay, if you think the answer is number 1, type 1, 2, type 2, 3, type 3, 4, type 4. Okay, thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Sing Ting. Thank you, Sweet. Thank you, Ryan. The answer is 3. If you wrote 3, right, please clap for yourself because I just saved you 1 mark. 1 mark. Okay, all right. Okay, so the correct answer should be 4. No, the correct answer should be 4. Okay, so let's examine your error over here. So every time I test this question, right, about 90+% of the audience will get it wrong. And don't worry, you're not the only one. A lot of students get it wrong as well. So these are very high error rate type of question, and it's frequently tested. And it'll be tested across multiple segments. If we don't correct the misunderstanding over here, we will never get this right. So what is the misunderstanding over here? Okay, Jack is pointing it out correctly. Good job, Jack. Yeah. Okay, so I want you to take a look at where the circles pop up. Notice there are 2 actions happening in the past. Everybody type 2 actions in the chat box. There are 2 actions happening in the past. Okay, can you see the 2 actions? One action, going to report the matter to the authorities. Okay, that's one action. The other action, finding out who was responsible for the vandalized mural. Now, which action happened the earliest? Finding out or going to report? If you think finding out happened the earliest, type finding out. If you think going to report happened the earliest, type going to report. So thank you, everybody. Nan, Susie, Lee, CH. Everybody is correct. Finding out happened earliest, the earliest. So when there are two actions happening in the past, we use past perfect tense for the action that happened the earliest. Okay? So what's the misconception, our child made over here? So if, you get back your child's exam paper, look out for this MCQ, and it will appear later on as well. So later I'll show you how it's connected to other segments. So what's the misconception the child made here? Can anybody explain to me? Yeah, can anybody explain what's the misconception? Because I tell you, most kids will just write 4 as a correction. And then after that, Jaden, they will change the name to Aiden. And then vandalized mural, they will say like broken window. And then instead of report to the authorities, they will say complain to the police or something like that. So they will just take the same question, change the name, change the object, and the child is going to get it wrong again. Okay, so what's the difference over here? What's the misconception over here? Ryan Pei, that's not correct. Alex Singteng, almost correct. Okay, so we have analyzed the question and we know that this question is testing us on the difference between past tense and past perfect tense. So the misconception over here is maybe, okay, and not just maybe, based on my experience, 90% of children or students do not know the difference between past tense and past perfect tense. Everybody write past perfect tense in your notes. This will be tested for exams. Okay, past perfect tense, write this in your notes. Okay, if you've got an assessment book, get your kids to start practicing past perfect tense. I guarantee you, they don't know how to do this, they don't understand this, they don't know what it's used for. Okay, so this is the misconception amongst the students. So we got to teach our kids, we got to tell them, hey, there's a difference between past tense and past perfect tense. When there are two actions happening in the past, okay, I'm going to type in the chat box, you all write down your notes. When there are two actions happening in the past, okay, the action that happened the earliest, we use past perfect tense. But take note, right? Most students do not even know the existence of past perfect tense. Our parents as well, agree? So a lot of times when, I say, oh, your child is weak in tenses, most parents will only think in terms of present tense and past tense, correct or not? If I'm pointing out, if I'm speaking out, if I, just pinpointed your misconception, type correct in the chat box. Most people, when I say tenses, will just think of present tense and past tense. Am I right? Okay, if I pointed it out, type yes in the chat box. Yeah, I guarantee you, your kids are making the same mistake. Yes, WY. A lot of people don't know the existence of past perfect tense. Then I can tell you there are more tenses. There are present perfect tense, there's past perfect continuous, then there's future tense, there's many, many other tenses other than just present and past tense. You get what I mean? So when the teacher says that your child is weak in tenses, it's not just present tense, past tense. That's P1, P2 stuff. There's still a lot of other tenses and rules that you need to know. Okay, so maybe your child don't even know the existence of past perfect tense, and then you got to teach your child what exactly is past perfect tense. Okay, got it? Past perfect tense, write down in your notes. Past perfect tense equals to had plus a past participle word. Okay, past perfect tense equals to had plus a past participle word. So if let's say the word is eat, past tense is ate, past participle is eaten, past perfect tense will be had eaten. Okay, so don't need to type this in the chat box, just copy down in your notes. This part is super important. All right. Okay, as you're copying down, once you're done copying, type done in the chat box. Then I'll move on to the next part on misconceptions. All right, so now you understand correcting misconception. Yeah, if you understood correcting the misconception, type understand in the chat box. So the problem with kids not improving in their English is because their tutor, the teacher, will probably just say answer is 4 because you got to use past perfect tense, and then that's it. They don't really explain past perfect tense. They don't explain the structure of past perfect tense. So the knowledge, the knowledge gap is always there. The misconception is still there. Okay, you need to delete the misconception. Okay, so here is another question type, and I can guarantee you 100% will come out for PSLE. Okay, so write down in your notes 100% will come out for PSLE. Okay, got it? This one 100% will come out for PSLE. Okay, so what should the answer be? To save you all from typing long sentences, is the answer A or is the answer B? If I convert this direct speech into indirect speech, this is a synthesis and transformation question. Is the answer A or is the answer B? Okay, answer A or answer B? Thank you, Huni. Thank you, WY. Thank you, Alice. Thank you, Sentil. Thank you, Wendy. Okay, the answer, thank you, Shuguna, Jennifer. Do you see the difference? This, this, that. You see there's a slight difference? Okay, both are wrong actually. Okay, both are wrong actually. Someone actually typed the correct answer just now. Yeah, look at this. The answer is this. Correct answer is, I asked Tom if he had taken these changes to that set of notes, and then yesterday changes to the previous day. So when we do conversion from direct speech to indirect speech, I can tell you the past perfect tense over here. Can you see the past perfect tense? If you can see, type can see in the chat box. Had taken is in past perfect tense. I can guarantee you almost 90% of students get this wrong for synthesis and transformation. And no matter how many past year papers you give them, they will keep getting this wrong all the way until PSLE. And even maybe in secondary school, they still don't understand their misconception. Okay, now let's try to identify the misconception that our child may have over here. And by the way, go and check your child's paper. 90% chance they're going to get this question wrong for synthesis and transformation. Okay, let's look at the misconception. Look at the word did. Look at the word take. We know that this whole phrase is in past tense. And when it comes to direct speech to indirect speech, past tense will be back shifted to past perfect tense. Yeah, any past tense phrases or words will be back shifted to past perfect tense. So is the misconception number one, thinking that take is in present tense? How many of you harbor misconception number one? Type 1 in the chat box. You think that, oh, take is present tense. Now, take is not present tense. Take is written in the base form. Write down in your notes. Now, English is a bit complicated. The presence of the word did will force the verb take to be in the base form. So it's not present tense, it is just base form. Okay? Next, you look at the whole phrase. Did you take? Is this past tense or present tense? Did you take? Correct C, correct Grace, correct Wendy. The whole phrase is in the past tense. So sometimes the students didn't see the word take, did. They just look at the word take and they think, oh, just convert this to past tense. No, that's wrong. So they need to know the whole phrase is in past tense. Or maybe the misconception is number two. A lot of students know that, hey, you need to convert this to that, yesterday to previous day, but they forget that past tense must be converted to past perfect tense. If your misconception is number two, type 2 in the chat box. Okay, maybe some students, they don't know that past tense still can be converted back further. Yeah. And then, or the misconception number 3, maybe my child doesn't even know what's past perfect tense in the first place. Now, if you got the first question wrong, the MCQ wrong, chances are you don't even know what's the past perfect tense in the first place. If you don't know what's the past perfect tense in the first place, how are you going to know that past tense must be converted to past perfect tense? You get what I mean? So you see, when we peel back the onions of our misunderstanding, we'll realize that maybe the root cause of our misunderstanding is not knowing that past perfect tense exists in the first place. So in order to help students improve, we got to peel back all the layers of the onion and solve the misconception and the root cause. Do I make sense? If I make sense, type make sense in the chat box. And hang on. If you see your child writing this, had took, the layer of the onion is even further. You know why? You know why? That means your child don't even know what is past participle in the first place. You get what I mean? So that means we must teach past participle first. Then we teach the difference between past tense and past perfect tense. And then we must tell them that past tense is changed to past perfect tense in direct to indirect speech. And then from there, we got to tell them to take note of the word did. Do you see how far back we must go in order to solve the misconception? Yeah, so this is the reason why students, they don't improve. They just do the corrections. Oh, had taken. But do they know what is past perfect tense? They don't really know. They just have a very vague idea of what past perfect tense is all about. So what's the recurring error? Poor understanding of past perfect tense. We need to correct this. Okay, got it? So if you find this sharing useful so far, type useful in the chat box or let me know your thoughts about this. And by the way, I purposely picked the 2 questions that 90% of students get it wrong. So you just go and check your child's test papers, I guarantee you very high chance your child is making the mistake I just showed on the screen. Okay, you can go and check it out. So these will save about 3 marks. Okay, these are recurring errors. You solve one, you will save quite a lot of marks. Okay, so let's talk about mark improvements. All right. Okay, so this boy, right, this is a very old testimonial and a very old case study. Okay, but I remember this because this boy, he joined the PSLE intensive course in September. Okay, there's only like 1 month left to PSLE. So he came for the 3 days PSLE intensive course, and then he went for 4 weekly class lessons. He was actually getting 50 upon 100, 51 upon 100. So it's a nearly fail. If you fail English for PSLE, you don't go to secondary 1. You stay back in primary 6, or maybe you go to primary 7. Okay. So this guy, this boy, his grades were very, very dire, danger level. Okay, but just by using this simple method of getting rid of misconceptions, analyzing the mistakes, identifying the errors, identifying the misconception, and then, solving and teaching the kid to overcome their misconception, he jumped from 50 plus marks to 60 plus marks. Okay, so that is more than a 10-mark jump within 1 month, within a few sessions. Okay, later on, I'll show you a case study of a child who got the same marks but had a longer runway to improve. Okay, that girl jumped by a lot more marks. Okay, so I'm just trying to prove to you that this method can, just by looking at the mistakes at a deeper level and by looking for misconceptions, not just mistakes, you can really salvage a lot of marks. Okay, so is this statement true? The only way to do well in English is to read more books. A lot of people say no, right? If it's true, a lot of kids will be in trouble already. How many of you, your kids don't like to read? Type me in the chat box. How many of you, your kids don't like to read? Type me in the chat box. Ryan Pei, why you don't like to read? What's wrong with you? You got to read, boy. Ryan Pei is a kid, right? Yeah, got to read. Must do worksheet. Yeah, do worksheet without any understanding also no point, right? I've seen a lot of students do past year papers, and past year papers go for hours and hours of tuition, no improvements at all because of the, they don't really correct the misconception. Okay, so the good news is this: there are exam smart strategies your child can use to score well. These exam smart strategies can put your non-reading child on par with a kid who reads a lot. And for those parents whose kids already read a lot, even better, with exam smart strategies, your kid improved even faster. Okay, when I see those students who come to our classes with super thick spectacles, they carry a book super thick like a phone book, like the yellow pages one. Those kids, I never worry for them because with the methods, they improve super quickly. Okay, but those that don't read, there is still a lot of hope and a lot of methods to help them improve as well. Okay, so every segment of the English paper, there are actually exam smart strategies. But for the sake of today, I'm not going to go through all the segments. I'll go through the most problematic segment, closed passage. What are your child's average closed passage scores? If you don't know, you can just type IDK. If it's a single digits, you can type single digits, double digits, type double digits. Okay, all right. So there is an exam smart strategy over there. All right, what is the exam smart strategy? Yes, Crystal, a lot of kids score very low marks over there. What is the exam smart strategy over here? Yeah, Jack, single digits, very common. What is the exam smart strategy? Do you know what to do over here? Now, this is the thing I've seen parents posting in parents group, right? So don't believe everything you read in parents groups, right? So this mom actually go and made the kid memorize answers in an assessment book, thinking that, the same questions will be tested again. Xiao, that one is crazy. That one is xiao. That's a very bad strategy. Do you think vocab is important over here? No. No. Vocab is only like maybe 10 to 20%, 80% is in grammar. Okay? All right, so a lot of people will say pick up clues, pick up clues, pick up clues. And then some people will say, if you ask teachers, they would say, look out for contextual clues. But honestly speaking, this is a very generic term that not a lot of people know how to apply. So what exactly are contextual clues? Now, let me give you something more specific instead of this generic smart sounding term. Okay, it's more than just link relationship. Okay, but first things first, to be exam smart, right, means we need to know how the curriculum writers set the questions. Am I right? Do you think a curriculum writer can take a passage from a magazine, put it on a wall, throw darts randomly, and wherever the dart lands, I remove the word? Yeah, so I just need to take a passage from a newspaper, put on the wall, throw darts at it. Wherever the darts land, I remove the words. I can't do that. Why? Why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? If I do that, what's going to happen? What are the consequences? Yeah, firstly, I need to give clues, right? If not, what's going to happen? What am I actually testing? Agree? Yeah. If I don't give clues, then what am I actually testing? Right? Will there be many, many possible answers for one blank? Will there be many possible answers for one blank? Correct, right? If I just remove random words and you know English, I can take 10 words, replace one word. Then what am I testing? Agree? Now, if let's say I'm a very slack curriculum writer or I'm a very slack exam setter, and there are 5 answers for 15 questions, 5 answers for every 15 questions, total how many answers will there be? 5 times 15. How many answers will there be in my answer sheet? 75. Who's going to mark the paper? You think that's efficient for marking? So firstly, I'm not testing anything if there are so many variable answers. And secondly, I'm going to create marking hell for the teachers and the people marking my work. So that means, right, I must edit the passage in such a way to set clues, okay? And that's one way. And how do I edit the passage? I need to make use of inherent grammatical sentence structures to set the clues. So later on, you will, when I review the boxes, right, you start to see a pattern already. Okay, so let's look at the first one, right? So this is how I set the clues. It's amazing what nature provides. Low on calories. What's the answer over here? Just type the answers. Yeah, low in calories, more potassium than 4 bananas, and super hydrating. These are just some of the few benefits according to America's latest health craze. Everybody, don't worry so much about the answers. Look at the words in the bracket over here. Can you see the words in bracket? These are the sentence types, or these are the question types I'm setting. Start to notice something, okay? All right, next one. Dark Mother's Nature sports drink by many marketers. The demand is this and that. And this helps to with a whole list of conditions from hangovers to cancer to kidney stones. Okay, so professional tennis player John Isner credits coconut water with keeping him on his feet, sorry. Okay, and then say this coconut water is hydrating. It has kept me going in long matches and prevented me from cramping, even in the most demanding weather conditions. Now, when we examine mistakes, right, we got to, again, see beyond just the surface level of the mistake. And if we list everything up, let's look at the mistakes or the misconceptions over here. Do you notice that I have 4 preposition errors, 2 grouping category errors, 1 comparison error, and 1 collocation error? So when the teachers set clues, right, there are common clues they use. Okay, I'm going through this very quickly because if I go through super slowly, right, it probably take 1 hour when I teach you how to spot the clues. Okay, but let me just do it very quickly. Preposition errors means words like on, from, or up, on, to, you know, all these words are prepositions. They like to set grouping questions. What are grouping questions? They will list a bunch of examples. Low in calories, fat-free, cholesterol-free, more potassium than 4 bananas. These 4 examples. What is one word that groups all these examples together? These are called benefits. Okay? Hangovers, cancer, kidney stones. Okay, these are all conditions. What is the word to group conditions? In this case, we'll probably use list. You get what I mean? So they like to test on grouping and category clues. Okay, look for a bunch of examples listed out and find the word that groups everything. So if I say something like kailan, broccoli, kangkong, what is the group? What is the grouping word? Type in the chat box. It is very similar to science. Yeah, science, right? They give you like what? Humans, blue whale, elephant, and then you group them under mammals. Am I right? So English, they do something like this as well. Okay. Sometimes they have a comparison sentence where they compare one sentence with another. Okay, then the word will be then, or maybe the word will be fewer, less, more. Okay, think of it, there will be comparison sentence. And sometimes they will use collocations. Collocations are basically words that come together, like Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. We don't say Happy Christmas or Merry Birthday, even though happy and merry mean the same thing. Okay, so do take note, look beyond the mistakes, try to see what the question is testing on. And if you realize that your child is weak in one particular question type, or very weak in one particular type of clue, make that aware, make that evident to your child and show them the pattern. So like a kid who keeps missing up, who can't see the grouping clues, you got to show them, hey, look, they're listing examples over here. They're probably going to ask for a grouping word. Look, they're listing examples here again. Look for another word that groups everything together. Okay, if your child keeps making preposition errors, then very simple, buy an assessment book, get them to do preposition and phrasal verbs. Okay, now this is very technical, right? So let me give you a quick fix, Ken, because I don't expect, because even English teachers don't know how to spot clues like that. Okay, so I don't expect like all you parents to be able to identify clues. But I teach you one clue to look out for. Look out for prepositions or the lack of prepositions. So this is one paper you see, like within 8 questions, there are 4 preposition questions already. Here's another past year paper. Within 6 questions, there are 1 preposition clue, beating someone up, saying nasty things to people, 2 preposition clues, 3, 4, 5. 6 questions, 5 preposition type of questions. Why? Why is it like that? I thought they're supposed to be testing kids on vocab. So now you understand why I say they are not testing on vocab, they're testing on grammar. And you can go and do as many past year papers as you want, and you'll find this to be true. Preposition questions or phrasal verb questions are very prevalent for closed passage. Okay? If you learn something new today, type new in the chat box. This one is super important. Now, so what does this tell us? If your child is getting single digits, I can guarantee you your child is super weak in prepositions. Get an assessment book and just practice prepositions and phrasal verbs MCQ. Okay? Got it? Serious. Okay, your child's getting single digits, just practice that. So I had one student who actually went to do that, and she was like, Mr. Jerry, you're right. My prepositions, I only get like 5 upon 20 out of 20 questions. And I said, yeah, that's why your closed passage is so weak. 1 month later, prepositions are all, she practiced until her prepositions are all good. She started getting like 15 upon 20, 13 upon 20, 15, 11 upon 15, that range consistently. She started getting double digits consistently. In the end, she got about AL3 for English when she was previously getting 50 plus. Okay, so watch out for this. The teachers like to test on prepositions. And do you know why or not? Do you know why? Because in English words, right, when you test on prepositions or phrasal verbs, let me type phrasal verb in the chat box, there can only be 1 word in the blank. Not 2 words, not 3 words. Most of the time, 99% of the time, phrasal verbs and prepositions, you can only put 1 answer. So that makes it easier to mark correct C. Okay, so I can tell you in every segment, there are some exam smart tips and tricks like this, that once your child understands, right, he or she will start looking at the passage in different way. Once he or she knows what clues to look out for, or grouping clues, collocation, preposition, your child will start to get higher marks more consistently for closed passage. So Audrey, like I said, buy the assessment book or grammar assessment book. There will be sections on prepositions and phrasal verbs. That one need to drill, that one need to practice, because the one comes from exposure. Okay, so these are some of the results for the students last year. Tenzin from AL4 jumped to AL2. Sophia jumped from AL4 to AL2. So these are all big fat jumps. This girl is Le Xian. When she joined, she was getting 60 plus marks. She used the closed passage techniques and comprehension techniques that we taught her to jump to AL2. Okay, and a lot of other AL1, AL2 students. Creative writing as well. This girl improved her creative writing, her compo writing skills, jumped to AL1. And compo writing skills are actually super easy to improve, and they give the highest marks jump. Which one? Oh, okay. So this one, Claudia. So remember earlier on I shared about this boy who got 50 marks? Claudia, when she joined the intensive course, she also only got 50 marks. Okay? So we were all quite worried for her, but after she started learning all these methods and strategies like closed passage, comprehension, clearing misconceptions one by one, by PSLE, she jumped to an A that is about 75 and above. So her marks jump was actually more than 10 or 15. She jumped from 50 to 75 and above. So that's like almost a 25 plus mark jump. If you think that's amazing, type wow in the chat box. But Claudia, we had a few more months. We had several more months with her compared to Naren, who only had 1 month. This one at least 6-7 months with her. Okay, so the parents are super happy. Recommended asked to a lot of other parents. Okay, AL3 jump to AL1. This is super possible as well. To get AL1 for English is super difficult. Okay, let me show you other crazy mark jumps. This is about Ashraf. Again, close passage and comprehension also. Jump from 61 to 77. You can calculate lah. This is an 18 mark jump over here by Kaiser. Arin jumped from 69 to 81. This is a prelims. By PSLE, she jumped to AL2. So that's like 88, 89, you know. So she went from 69 to 81 and then jumped to AL2, which is, I think, around the 88 mark range. She's still doing very well for English. So one thing about languages, right? Once you got the foundations and the misconceptions clear up, right? Secondary school will pay off big time. It'll be a breeze for them. Okay, even more marks jumps. 65 jump to 81. So a lot of people think English cannot be studied, right? And look at this, 20 mark jump, 60 jump to 80, and a lot more. And this girl talk a lot of, tell a lot of jokes in class. Still say, you know, I jump from here to here because I pay attention, which is true. 64 to 75, all these crazy marks jumps over here. You see another 50 plus jump to 66. Yeah. Oh yeah, Sophia, 73 jump to 80.5. And then after that, she got AL2 for PSLE. So it's like boom, boom, boom. 3 big jumps, and then, you know, just by clearing misconceptions. Okay, so it's super possible to improve in English, even though you don't read a lot. There are a lot of these kids, I can tell you, a lot of them don't read. Elijah, look at Elijah, 67.5, then jump to 77. After that, he jumped to AL2. Okay, so super crazy, all these marks improvement. So there are exam smart strategies for every single segment that your child can use to increase his or her chances to get the question right. Okay, so we've shared quite a bit. May I know just type in the chat box, what are the biggest things you have learned tonight? Be specific, don't just type AIC. Be specific, don't just type AIC. Okay, like for English, what is the most important thing to look out for? Recurring errors, yeah, close passage, what do they like to test you on? Prepositions, thank you, Grace. Math and science, recap everything from math and science. Chinese, okay? Math and science, weaker concepts, target the weak concepts, past perfect tense. Yeah, got to study smart lah. Yeah, got to study smart and not just do past year papers. Like, you know, if not, you're just wasting your child's childhood. Okay, I'm glad that you all have learned something new tonight. Is it okay if I share a little bit more about the PSLE intensive course, which, you know, we mentioned quite a bit about? If you're okay with me sharing about the PSLE intensive course for the next 10 to 15 minutes, type okay in the chat box. Okay, thank you, Grace. Thank you, Elise. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah. Okay, so first, this program is not for kids who are too stressed. Okay, but honestly speaking, if you do a Google search of our Great Solution reviews, you will find that the word commonly used to describe our lessons are fun, and funny. Okay, so we purposely make our lessons as fun and lighthearted and as humorous as possible, because we know that, you know, tuition classes can be quite dry if we don't tell jokes, stories, or play games, use visuals. We use all sorts of methods to keep the kids engaged so they don't feel stressed. Okay, so yeah, don't worry, we know how to manage the stress. And homework, we don't try to give that much, but for the intensive course, there will be substantial amount of homework, not too much. Okay, you are given enough time to complete them. Okay, now if you and your child are already satisfied with the results, then you don't need to join this course. But if, let's say, your child's AL1 or AL2, you feel like it's a bit lucky, like not very stable, then please join the course, because I've seen before a lot of students' marks like AL3, AL2. I can tell the parents this one may be a fluke, so don't ask your child to stay humble, right? Because we can, after teaching the kid, we can more or less tell their standard. So if the paper is too easy, some of them get false hope, get their hopes up too high. And of course, I'm pretty sure no parents here have given up hope on your child. Okay, all right. Hey, thanks, Grace. Your child got a good sense of humor. Okay, so who is this program for? If you believe your child has the potential to do better, this program is for you. And honestly, based on our many years of teaching, we realize that most children have some kind of unlocked potential hidden within them. Like all those kids, right, who got this crazy mark jump, when they first join, they don't believe all this is possible. They never thought they can get AL3 or AL2. For their whole life, they just thought they are going to get 60 plus marks. Okay, so trust me, most kids don't know their potential. Next thing, so what we have shared with you tonight, Jimmy, Miss Doreen, Andy, and myself, we're sharing quite a bit of technical stuff, right? And close passage, I only talk about prepositions. Actually, got connectors, got contrast. I haven't even talked about comprehension. I haven't even talked about writing and composition writing, situational writing. If you need someone with deeper technical expertise to coach your child, we are here for you this March holidays. And of course, I mean, to study so hard, right? The real aim, honestly speaking, most of us are trying to get our kids into a good school, be in a good environment for secondary school, because that will be the most important 4 years of their lives. Agreed? If you agree about getting into a good secondary school, and that is one of your main concerns, type agree in the chat box, because I, as a parent, am already thinking about schooling and all that stuff already. Okay, so the 4 years, very important, especially when they are teenager. All right, so screenshot this page. This is the course schedule. Will be happening next week over 3 days. Okay, so whatever subject you sign up for, it will be a 3-day course. So Chinese and science will be taking place on 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay, I'm sorry there's a bit of clash, but there's no way we can make the schedule such that it doesn't clash, because we just have so many classes ongoing, and all our teachers have to teach other classes as well. Okay, so Chinese and science 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The break will be 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, English and math we will take the night session 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. So when you sign up for either maybe Chinese and math, or science and English, or Chinese and English. Okay, if you want to sign up for all 4 subjects or 3 subjects, it is fine as well. A lot of parents do that, because why? All the lessons are recorded, all the materials are given to you, and you can still ask questions regards to the materials after you pay for the course. Okay, lesson recordings will be provided. So I understand that a lot of parents have to, the kids have to go to school on Monday or Tuesday or some other days, but trust me, it is the lesson recordings itself, right? We do provide so many notes, okay, and so many learnings and lessons and exam smart strategies that schools won't share. Okay, I mean, what you have learned tonight for closed passage, I can guarantee you, no school teacher, no tuition center will teach all this stuff. You will only learn these kind of things at Great Solution. Okay, so yeah, same for the other subjects as well. So maybe I'll let the teachers explain their subjects. So yeah, Jimmy, maybe you can talk about math.
Okay, sure. Yep. So what we'll be covering during the math course, right? I'll be teaching your child the 3 steps to solve any problem sums. I'll be also going through all the master problem sums concept heuristics. Right. So just like I go through number and value, there's still a lot more. Like for example, grouping, assumption, constant part, constant total, constant difference. Right. All these concepts heuristics we cover in detail, inside the 3-day course. On top of that, right, I'll also be correcting common mistakes. Right. I'll tell a child what are the common mistakes to look out for. And of course, how to avoid careless mistake, how to check the answers. And the course is suitable for both P5 and P6, right? Because we are going to revise many important P5 topics in the 3 days intensive course. So both P5 and P6 can join this course.
Okay, Andy?
Okay, for science, we'll be tackling lots of challenging MCQ questions, be at the P5 and the P6 level. And of course, most importantly, we'll be refining your child's open-ended answers. Just now, we'll be using AIC, right, to go through the science open-ended questions. Now, take note that when it comes to the I-identify misconception, all right, there are lots and lots of misconceptions the child needs to take note of. And usually, it's only the teacher with many, many years of experience who knows what are the kinds of misconception that they can provide that kind of adequate training for a child. Okay, so we'll be tackling a lot on the open-ended question segment. Sharpen your child's answer. Right, so we will share with your child lots and lots of answering techniques. Even all answering techniques that your child will need to master for P5 and P6 level. But take note, for P6 level, we only be sharing the answering up to the forms and uses of energy segment. So it's only energy in food, forms and uses of energy, and forces.
Okay, for Chinese, Doreen?
大家好。那华文的话，我们就是会复习P3到P6 3年级到6年级的字词，然后也会教孩子们那些识字的技巧。除此之外的话，我们会有2篇作文，一篇看图作文，一篇命题作文。还有的话就是我们会有阅读理解的所有的技巧的练习，还有就是那个总复习 Paper 2的总复习。谢谢。
Yeah, parents' questions, please put in the Q&A function because it's going to get very, very messy in the chat box. So please, we'll go through all the questions in the Q&A section in a while soon. Okay, for English, right? Have you ever wondered how to do well for vocabulary? I'm pretty sure your child is struggling for the vocab segment, right? So with this 5-step mental framework that I'll be teaching your child will score significantly much higher marks for vocabulary. And this works like magic for a lot of kids. It's quite simple. Okay, so I'll teach your kids how to guess the meaning of vocab without really knowing the meaning of vocab. Okay, next one. Exam smart strategies for comprehension. This one, there's so many things to cover. How to paraphrase, how to identify clues, how to answer the various question types. So just like closed passage, comprehension, after a while, it's all the same question types. And I can already tell you which question types your child is going to mess up. So all these I'll explain during the intensive course, and there'll be notes for them to refer to next time when they teach PSLE as well. How to spot all the clues for closed passage. Prepositions is just one of the big clues. There are a few other clues that your child needs to know. Common mistakes for S&T. So just now I shared with you indirect speech to direct speech to indirect speech, right? That is a common mistake. There are a few other common mistakes I'll be talking about. Tricky, commonly tested grammar questions. So after your child goes through the 3-day course, your child should be scoring 10 upon 10 for grammar. So that is one component where the questions are all used and recycled for the last 60 years or maybe the last 100 years. Okay, it's the same thing over and over again. Like I said, they just change the names, they just change the objects. And also I will share with you the secret sauce on how to make your child's composition marks jump by leaps and bounds, or improve by leaps and bounds. So all these stuff will be covered during the 3 days. Okay, so fast action bonuses for the first 20 signups tonight. For each subject you sign up for, you will get a PSLE revision checklist. So you sign up for English, you get an English checklist. Math, you get math checklist, so on and so forth. You also get a mock exam paper, one for each subject. So if you sign up for science, you get a science mock exam paper. You sign up for English, you get an English mock exam paper. Now, our curriculum writers have studied like hundreds and hundreds of past year papers, pick out the most commonly tested questions and compiled them in this mock exam paper. Okay, so it's not just random questions. The curriculum writers actually put in a lot of effort to create this mock exam paper. And of course, your child's latest common test, WA, can send it in to us, and then we can look through it and see whether we can spot the recurring mistakes and tell you where to improve. Okay, so this is only available for the first 20 signups tonight. So if you want the fast action bonuses, you're going to act fast later on. Okay, so all in all, this is what we'll be providing. Live Zoom lessons, $700, intensive course notes, the $400. Oh, with recordings as well. So you can watch the recordings all the way until PSLE. It will be with you for 1 year. Okay, detailed marking and evaluation of assignments with feedback. So we will spot all the recurring errors and misconceptions over here. Revision checklists, exam papers, latest test paper review, all in all added together, the total value of everything we're offering here tonight is worth $2,000. Okay, but obviously we are not going to charge you $2,000. But I just need you to keep the $2,000 in your mind and ask yourself, if you spend $2,000 and all this did for you was to help your child get into their dream school, would it be worth it? And if you spend $2,000 and all this did for you was to help your child improve by 10 to 15 marks, would it be worth it? Okay, if you think it will be worth it, type yes in the chat box. Okay, dream school and potentially change your child's future. Okay, so obviously, we will not be charging $2,000 to you tonight. You all have been a wonderful audience, and because you have such a wonderful audience, we're going to give you a special discount. If you're feeling excited by this discount and you want to qualify for this discount, please type serious in the chat box. I want to speak to the serious parents only. Okay, serious parents, serious parents. Thank you, Grace, Wendy, Sweet, Louis. Okay, a lot of serious parents over here. Eddie, Li Qing, take note of the serious parents. Okay, great. So the super special discount offer is $600. But wait, we want to give you an even better offer. Now, to qualify for this offer, right, you need to help us with one thing. If your child benefits from this program, this 3-day intensive course, you find it useful, would you be so kind to just give us a testimonial, email, WhatsApp, or even better, a Google review? If you can do that, type deal in the chat box. And only if you find that your child benefits. Okay? Must be sincere, must be from the heart. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Anthony, Susie. Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, ready. So the super special discount offer with all these fast action bonuses is $347 per subject only. Now, because there are only 20 fast action bonuses and there are so many serious parents, if you want to secure the fast action bonuses, please type I'm in the chat box. Okay, please type I'm in the chat box. And then Li Qing and Jimmy, take note of the names. Okay, Louise, Wendy, Anthony, Grace, Jenny. Lock in these fast action bonuses for them. Niha, Alicia. Okay, but that's not the end. That's not the end. Let me. Have you posted the link, Jimmy? Yeah, so let me show you how to register. Okay, so once you click on the link, yeah, you will be sent to this page over here. You just need to scroll all the way down to the sign up now button, the big red button over here. Click on sign up now and select your level. So if your child is in P6, select P6, P5, select P5. Select the course that you want to join. Okay, select the course that you want to join. Okay, and then you can just click on search, or you can just select like maybe, I don't know, English and math, search, and then you just check both and then click on register. Okay, now enter your mobile number, enter your password. If you are a recurring returning student, means you bought something from us before or sign up for something with us before. If you are totally new and this is the first time you are seeing this page, click on I am new, and then you fill in your name, your email, your mobile, and everything. Okay, so all those people who type I'm in, we still need you to sign up in order to lock in the fast action bonuses. Okay, yeah. So only for the first 20. So put in your name, your email, your mobile, your password, enter your password, your child's name, select the level, click on sign up. Okay, and check your email for the confirmation. All right. Okay. So before we go on to the Q&A, maybe I talk about some commonly asked questions first. Okay. Over here. Yeah. So first one. So I understand that some of you may have to, your kids have to go for remedial classes. Do take note that all the lessons are recorded, and you can still refer to the recordings after the class. Now, some of you may be thinking, will we have another intensive course closer towards PSLE? Let me tell you what's going to happen. Okay. In September, I guarantee you won't have time to come. Okay. In September, you know, the parents that join all watch recordings. Okay, because September, the schools are going to have remedial classes for you. But I honestly speaking, I'm not trying to put down the schools, but they're just going to do past year papers and go through corrections only. So they don't really go very in-depth into the mistakes, and they don't really provide the notes that we're going to provide. So even if your child cannot attend the classes or going to miss like a few hours, it's still okay. Please just sign up. The recordings are available to you. The earlier you learn all this stuff, like I said, the more runway your child has to improve. Don't wait until June. Don't wait until September. Okay. Now, our classes can grow quite large, but do take note, we will manage the chat box. So let's say the class is very noisy and kids are very talkative. We will turn the chat box to private. So only the teachers can see the questions, and the kids typing won't affect the other kids. Okay. And do take note, we've been teaching online since 2020 or even earlier. So we have been managing large classes our whole lives. Personally, our weekly classes can go up to 50, 60 plus per class. And honestly speaking, right, I hate to sound like, I'm bragging, but the reason why our classes are so large is because the methods we teach really work, and the kids really do enjoy our classes. So our classes just keep growing larger and larger and larger until we cannot go back to any physical centers anymore. And like I said, okay, these 3 days, we will make it stress-free as much as possible. Okay, we want to make the lessons fun and highly engaging. And definitely it's not too late for your child to join. The Naren boy joined in September. He still managed to see some last-minute improvements, but please don't wait until the last minute to join, because it's really, really quite risky. And the earlier you join, the earlier you start learning, the longer runway your child has to improve and succeed and get the grades that he or she wants. Okay, Jimmy, I think we need to announce the winner, right?
Oh, yes. Li Jing, can you announce the winner first for the most positive participant? Okay, drum roll.
What's the prize again, Jimmy?
The 3 courses, the 3 online course.
Synthesis and transformation, right?
Congrats to
Yes.
Patrick.
Yay, congratulations,
Congrats,
Patrick.
Patrick.
Yay.
Okay, yeah, just send us the details. We will give you access to those courses. Okay, Jimmy, you want to take over the Q&A?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, any questions, please put a Q&A because we are going to answer all your questions now, parents. All right, so Krista is asking, are these course available with fees? I believe you're talking about the intensive course that Jerry just shared. Yep, the fees are all shown on the website. It's 347 for each subject. Okay, you can sign up at the link provided in the chat box, Krista. I think you have signed up already. Yeah, I saw you are one of the first 20 that signed up, Krista. So yeah. Okay, so Krista, the dates also given already when you sign up. The dates will be next Monday to Wednesday, okay? Right, next Monday to Wednesday. Okay, Taylor and Crystal are asking, where can we find a list of math concepts? Okay, I'm going to put the link to download my ebook for free in the chat box. You can find the list of math concepts over there. Okay, you can click the link and download my math ebook, all right, Ting Lee and Krista. But however, of course, that's not the end. I mean, download ebook is just a small part only. Your child need to practice. And that's why we're actually providing a lot of targeted practice in the upcoming 3 days intensive course, okay, where I will teach your child personally on how to master each of those concepts.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt, Jimmy. Let me share with you how many fast action bonuses left. I would like to say we only left with seven fast action bonuses.
Okay, parents, okay, last 7, please take action fast, right? Please click the link and enroll now. Okay, so to recap what are the fast action bonuses, you'll be getting revision checklist for each subject. The revision checklist, right, will have all the must-know points, right, must-know concepts and must-know things like that your child need to know before your child go for PSLE. Okay, so for example, for maths, right, we got